Ladies and gentlemen, earlier, just a few hours ago, there was a massive cyber attack on Twitter. Several high-profile accounts, including former President Barack Obama, former Vice President Joe Biden, current presidential contender, Elon Musk, Uber, Apple, were all hacked and started tweeting something about come and get Bitcoin or something. Send us Bitcoin, we'll send you Bitcoin back. This is one of the biggest cyber attacks we've seen because these are particularly powerful accounts that this has the potential to completely disrupt the planet. This is how absolutely insane things are right now. I cannot tweet. So Adam, in my absence, has declared himself to be the warlord of Twitter.
That is correct.
He has.
Thank you for announcing me. Subject.
Yes, absolutely. My liege.
He's not on Twitter, so.
That's right.
I can't tweet. So if you blue check mark verified Twitter accounts can't tweet right now. Now, a lot of these journalists are just going with the narrative of, wow, a Bitcoin scam. This, in my opinion, is not a Bitcoin scam. And I'm not going to pretend like I know all of the secrets of the universe, but based on my general understanding of past hacking events of Twitter, cybersecurity, national security, this seems to be a sophisticated, serious attack against the United States. But this was a shot across the bow. This was them letting us know we own you. In 2013, hackers took over the Associated Press on Twitter and tweeted out a message about Obama being injured. This resulted in a $136 billion stock drop-off, one of the fastest transfers of wealth, one of the largest and fastest transfers of wealth in history, took place in the span of less than 10 minutes.
Wow.
That's how insane these attacks are. For them to show us now 7 years later that they can take Obama, Biden, Elon Musk, this is very, very serious. So we've got some big updates. We're going to talk a lot about this. I'm going to show you some of the context from the past. But it seems like there are a lot of people pointing out it looks like a warning shot for now, or not even a warning. You know, this is meant to instill fear.
I mean, it makes total sense. I was reading the executive order that President Trump did yesterday
On China.
About Hong Kong and China. And I the more I read it, my jaw dropped. I was like, wow. I mean, I ran in here. I'm like, dude, you got to read this. And then a couple hours later, Twitter gets hit. And it's like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
They're probably worried because of this executive order.
So
we'll talk about it.
We don't know who's doing what.
Yep.
It very well may be just some stupid Bitcoin scam. Twitter locked down every verified account. This, as far as I know, is unprecedented. Now, there's a lot of people posting silly memes, and they're quite funny, and we've been laughing a whole lot. But the seriousness of the situation, to be fair, it's like, we can have a laugh, but this is man. I don't know. This is crazy. This is crazy, crazy, crazy.
Yes, it is.
If they took Obama's account and then made some claim about Trump's health, if they used Elon Musk to make claims about Tesla and stock, they could manipulate, destroy, and disrupt our economy like that.
Yep.
So now there are calls to nationalize Twitter. So okay, we're gonna get into all of this stuff. I'm gonna show you Twitter stock is taking a hit from this, but make sure as you're joining right now, you
smash the like button. That's right, you better smash it. I am your warlord, and you will smash the button, or else nothing will happen. But that's okay.
There's also listen. Another YouTube channel that had been doing a live stream about this was taken down and issued a guideline strike.
Really?
So yes, yeah. I don't know what they were saying or why or whatever, but YouTube may see it within their glorious and divine purview to remove us from this conversation. Just so you all watching know, that's a possibility. And it could be because, let's be real, this is serious disruption. Right now, every single politician who has grown accustomed to communicating with their constituents and this country through Twitter is unable to communicate.
Yep.
And they've long since given up the water cooler, the town halls, the churches. They use Twitter. It's where people go to put out their messages.
It's true.
This is the serious danger of having these unregulated private companies with this much power. And now we're seeing people say, are we going to keep playing this game? Are we going to keep saying, oh, it's a private company, can do it at once? If Barack Obama tweeted something out, and I could think off the top of my head a couple things I'm not going to say, you would see people in the streets rioting, destroying things.
Yep.
Burning buildings to the ground that easily, especially considering what's going on with COVID, what's going on with the economy, what's going on with all the riots. This right now is not just some Bitcoin scam. this is way serious. Now, there's another.
I agree.
Josh Hawley, the senator, sent a letter to Twitter acknowledging some of these accounts had two-factor authorization, meaning this is not a phishing scam. I'm seeing people say it looks like just a Bitcoin phishing scam. You think Joe Biden, right now, presidential candidate,
Wouldn't
under
have a two-way.
secrets?
Yeah.
No, it's not even about two-way. No. You think
Authentic. Yeah.
well beyond that.
Right.
Well beyond that. Look, this is scary. If Joe Biden is running for the president right now and he's the presumed, nominee and all that stuff, and they did not secure the servers, the accounts for Joe Biden and Trump,
And
we
Obama.
got serious security problems in this country.
I mean, once you're president for life. That's the way it works. So Obama is technically still, he's always going to be President Obama for the rest of his life.
And this man, I'll say the speculation, but for now, let's actually read the story. So if you're just tuning in, hit the like button, subscribe, notification bell. You can get in your super chats. So I sincerely do ask that if you really do like the show, you do subscribe and hit the notification bell, because that does tell YouTube to boost us in the algorithm, basically.
And smash that like button. Smash that like button.
Yeah.
Smash it. You
Just engage with the content if you like it. That's all you got to do.
I declare.
Yeah.
I do declare.
I don't know if I'm allowed to mention the algorithm stuff, by the way. So
Well, I declare they smashed the like button.
Yeah.
That's
Engage
my
with
first
the channel.
decree as warlord
But
of
you're
Twitter.
basically telling YouTube you like us. All right, let's read this this first story we got from Business Insider. They say some of the world's biggest Twitter accounts are hacked. Here's what we do. Here's what we do and don't know about what's going on right now. Elon Musk wants to give you free Bitcoin. At least that's what his Twitter account says. Don't trust him. The Tesla account is one of numerous high-profile accounts on the social network that have been compromised as part of a remarkable far-reaching hack in an attempt to scam people using digital currency Bitcoin. This is speculation, and they should not be saying it. They don't know what this is.
Yep.
They can mention the tweets did this, and I think last time I checked, it was like $100,000. They had apparently had raised their address. As of writing on Wednesday, there's still a whole lot of unknowns, but here's what we do and don't know so far. Tons of people and companies have been hacked. Biden, Bezos, Apple's official account, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Kanye West, Kim Kardashian, Uber, Wiz Khalifa, Floyd Mayweather, Cash App, Mr. Beast, XXX Temptation, parody account, The Tweet of God. The list goes on and on. The only common thread between the accounts appears to be that they are all, very famous. The hackers appear to be targeting high-profile accounts that will spread the scam as far as possible. I love the speculation. I love it. They don't know what this is.
Yeah, they have
but
no
sure
idea.
enough, Mike Cernovich tweeted this: the Bitcoin angle is for dumb journalists who are too stupid to know what's happening around them.
Agreed.
Hey, look at that.
You do one Google search as to what happened in 2013 with the AP, and targeting Obama is not about getting Bitcoin.
Not at all. No.
How did they get hacked? That's not clear. There have been incidents in the past in which third-party social media management apps got hacked, and users of that app were compromised. It means hackers can gain access to their accounts even though Twitter itself wasn't breached. It's not clear what's going on in this case, but the unprecedented scale of the hack does raise the possibility that Twitter's systems may have been breached in some way. Another way this hack is unusual is the duration of it. Some of the accounts have been compromised for well over an hour, with repeated reposting the scam message after they got deleted, presumably by Twitter. In previous hacks, Twitter has been able to lock down high-profile accounts rapidly until the account owner could regain control. It's not clear why this hasn't happened here, but I can tell you this: Twitter has completely lost control of their system.
Yeah, it seems like
entirely. They can't even stop. So that's why they froze every single blue check account.
Yeah, wow.
We are in, this is Wild West territory, man. Check this out. This is what Obama tweeted. He said, "I am giving back to my community due to COVID. All Bitcoin sent to my address below will be sent back doubled. If you send 1,000, I'll send back 2. Only doing this for the next 30 minutes. Enjoy. Just sent out $40,000. Clearly not real."
Wow.
Twitter is saying nothing. In a fairly unenlightening statement via tweet, Twitter's security team confirmed there were shenanigans happening and that it was looking into it. "We are aware of a security incident impacting accounts on Twitter. We are investigating and taking steps to fix it. We will update everyone shortly." What's Twitter doing to stop it? Twitter appeared to have prevented all verified accounts from tweeting in an attempt to crack down on the scam messages. The company hasn't publicly said it's doing this, but this reporter and others are currently unable to tweet. As of writing, some verified users are able to tweet again, but others cannot. I still can't. Some people can. I think you can't tweet, Lydia?
I am able to now.
You
Oh,
can't
you
tweet.
are?
Yeah, at the last minute.
Why, if this was a Bitcoin scam, would Twitter be unable to stop the tweets?
Right.
It's not a Bitcoin scam, man. That is speculative. That is speculative. This is way more sophisticated than that. They say the scam is generally they're posting a tweet saying, send us Bitcoin. Should I send them Bitcoin? No. Who's behind the hack? We don't know. I want to show you some tweets here that we have pulled up so far. Mike Cernovich making some good points. He says, if this hack were about Bitcoin, there are thousands of ways to make more money. Phishing links to make it look like Coinbase or Square. Link to websites to steal personal information and credit. This ain't about some Bitcoin crumbs. He then said, we regret to inform you that Elon Musk has passed away. Style press release from the Musk family, along with a short of Tesla stock, would have earned far more money than a Bitcoin scam. Don't fall for the Bitcoin angle. That's a distraction. This is a state level attack. He then said, the Bitcoin angle is for our dumb reporters who don't understand that a true hack like this wouldn't be to get a few crumbs of crypto. A country wanted to send a message. We own your butts. They succeeded. In response, Twitter's stock has taken a small hit, though their stock is still generally up, but it did go down in after hours. I want to show you this story from April 23rd, 2013, so you can understand the severity of what this is and why after this goes down, and I run up to Adam, I'm like, yo, Adam, I think we're facing a major cyber attack. What was the first thing you said?
I declared myself warlord.
No. What's the first thing you said in the news sense?
Because of the executive order yesterday.
Donald Trump basically said in this executive order, if you are associated with China in any way and are giving aid to them as they repress Hong Kong, we will take everything.
Yep.
This executive order I'm surprised it wasn't bigger news.
I was reading it this morning. A friend of mine sent it to me like, dude, you need to read this. And I was just reading it. And I ran in here. I'm like, dude, you have to read this. It's incredible. So, and then this happened. It's like, it makes total sense. It's a counterattack.
It basically says that if you in any way provide aid to people associated with the Chinese government who are in any way repressing the rights of Hong Kong, we will take your assets. We'll, seize things. You can't travel. And considering the amount of property and resources Chinese officials have been buying in this country and organizations, I mean, this is far-reaching.
Yeah, it is.
But let's go back in time real quick. Check this out. Syrian hackers claim AP hack that tipped stock market by $136 billion. Is it terrorism? Look at this. You can see on the screen. This blip right there where the whole market just dropped and bounced back up. What you are seeing in that is a sophisticated cyber attack. But not only that, it was the destruction of the lives of so many innocent people who didn't know it was about to happen. And all of a sudden, these retirement accounts, these day traders had these automated sell-offs occur because the price dropped so rapidly. And then other people who had automatic, buy, I don't know what the stock terminology is called, but automatically wanted to buy, gained all of those assets and the price skyrocketed back up. You lost all your assets like that. They say at 1:07 p.m. on Tuesday, this is April 23rd, 2013, when the official Twitter account for the Associated Press sent a tweet to its nearly 2 million followers that warned, I'm not going to read what they said, but they basically said that a catastrophic event had occurred and Obama was hurt. Some of the people who momentarily panicked were apparently on or near the trading floor of the New York Stock Exchange. At 1:08, the Dow began a perilous but short-lived nosedive. It dropped about 150 points from 14,697 to 14,548 before stabilizing at 1:10 p.m. When news of the tweet had been erroneous began to spread by 1:13, the level had returned to 14,690. During those 3 minutes, the fake tweet erased $136 billion in equity market value. Wow. Just 2.5 weeks ago, Bloomberg LP announced that it would begin adding a small number of Twitter accounts to its financial information terminals, which are ubiquitous in Wall Street's financial offices. The idea, ironically enough, was to combat misinformation spread on Twitter. In August, false information spread on Twitter suggesting that Syrian President Bashar al-Assad had been killed, sending crude oil prices spiking. The market appears to have recovered from the AP Twitter hack, which was both juvenile and easily fixed. The AP got word out quickly that the tweet was the result of a hack, and Twitter shut down the compromised account. Now you can see the true power, the absolutely true power
and that
of Twitter.
And that was
one
account, one tweet.
One tweet.
One tweet had that effect.
And Twitter was able to go in and go, delete.
Yeah.
They can't do it now. Twitter is panicking. A dumpster fire does not describe the level of chaos that is inside of Twitter right now.
Yep.
They are probably sweating bullets. That's probably an understatement. If they're unable to remove these accounts, the degree to which they've been compromised is incredible. And if they can do $136 billion in damage with one tweet, and then Jack was able to reverse it, imagine how much damage they could do to our economy with a tweet from former President Obama, current presidential candidate Democratic frontrunner Joe Biden, Elon Musk, Bezos.
Yep.
What do you think would happen if, say, Joe Biden tweeted out something, we're shocked to inform you the president has suffered a massive cardiac arrest or something like that. And then Barack Obama tweets out, we're really sorry to hear this. We've had our differences, but the president. Then you hear all of a sudden Elon Musk tweeting the same thing, something similar. But they're all unique tweets.
Right.
Everybody would be screaming.
Yeah, and believe it.
The markets would panic. People would be running out their door, running to every store to buy everything off the shelves. It would be absolute chaos. Riots would break out.
Yep.
Because you'd see all of these different high-profile accounts basically confirming some catastrophic event. And Twitter can't take it down. This was a shot across the bow, man.
Yeah.
This was them saying, we own you.
Yep.
Back off.
Yeah, because of that executive order is basically Trump going, I'm sick of it. I'm done. I'm done with it. We're now doing something about it. And then this happens the very next day. No. It's not a coincidence. I mean, if you read the wordings, we'll talk about it.
I've got it pulled up. But first, I want to show you this from Chris Liu. He is the former Obama White House cabinet secretary. And he said, as the Twitter accounts of prominent people/companies are hacked, let's take note of how troubling it is for a president to announce policy decisions, including military threats, on a platform susceptible to intrusions. We are one hack away from a major international incident.
It's true.
It already happened in 2013.
It already happened. Yep.
Those stocks didn't just impact America. It impacted everyone around the world. I mean, there are foreign traders. The markets are connected to each other in various ways. That damage probably rippled out across the world.
Yep.
So he's technically right, but we've already been there.
Well, and then we got the DNC calling for every single person in their employ to delete TikTok. The whole delete TikTok thing, and it's like, okay, well, it's becoming very, very obvious. TikTok is a phishing app.
Going to send your data to China.
Exactly.
Now they deny that. Of
course they do.
Of course we're not doing that. We're not owned by China, but they have ties to some of the highest ranking officials in the company.
Right.
I think it's called ByteDance.
Yeah.
I don't know the full details.
Yeah. Well, any company that is based in China, the government can just go in and take. Okay, this company is ours now. Period. Done. What are you going to do about it?
So this is the executive order.
Yeah.
It came out just the other day. The president's executive order on Hong Kong normalization. By the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and laws of the United States of America, including the United States Hong Kong Policy Act of 1992, the Hong Kong Human Rights and Democracy Act of 2019, the Hong Kong Autonomy Act of 2020, signed into law July 14th, 2020, the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, the National Emergencies Act, the National Emergencies Act section of the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1952, and Section 301 of Title III United States Code, I, Donald Trump, hereby enact, yada, yada. So,
there's a lot.
I'm going to read his opening statement because it's not very long, but it's going to give you the important context.
Yeah.
He writes, I, Donald Trump, President of the United States of America, determine, pursuant to Section 202 of the United States Hong Kong Policy Act of 1992, that the special administrative region of Hong Kong is no longer sufficiently autonomous to justify differential treatment in relations to the People's Republic of China, under the particular United States laws and provisions thereof set out in this order. In late May 2020, the National People's Congress of China announced its intention to unilaterally and arbitrarily impose national security legislation on Hong Kong. This announcement was merely China's latest salvo in a series of actions that have increasingly denied autonomy and freedoms that China promised to the people of Hong Kong under the 1984 Joint Declaration of Government of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland and the Government of the People's Republic of China on the question of Hong Kong. As a result, on May 27, 2020, the Secretary of State announced that the PRC had fundamentally undermined Hong Kong's autonomy and certified and reported to the Congress pursuant to Sections 205 and 301 of the United States Hong Kong Policy Act of 1992 as amended, respectively, that Hong Kong no longer warrants treatment under United States law in the same manner as United States laws were applied to Hong Kong before July 1st, 1997. On May 29, 2020, I directed the heads of executive departments and agencies to begin the process of eliminating policy exemptions under United States law that give Hong Kong differential treatment in relation to China. He goes on to say, China has since followed through on its threat to impose national security legislation. They explain, there's no right to trial by jury. Proceedings may be conducted in secret. China has given itself broad power to initiate and control the prosecutions of people of Hong Kong through the new Office of Safeguarding National Security. At the same time, the laws allow foreigners to be expelled if China merely suspects them of violating the law, potentially making it harder for journalists, human rights organizations, and other outside groups to hold the PRC accountable for its treatment of the people of Hong Kong. I therefore determine that the situation with respect to Hong Kong, including recent actions taken by the PRC to fundamentally undermine Hong Kong's autonomy, constitutes an unusual and extraordinary threat, which has its source in substantial part outside the U.S. to the national security, foreign policy, and economy of the United States. I hereby declare a national emergency with respect to that threat. Now, the important section, because I can't read through everything, is Section 4. All property and interests in property that are in the United States that hereafter come within the United States or that are or hereafter come within the possession or control of any United States person, or the following persons are blocked and may not be transferred, paid, exported, withdrawn, or otherwise dealt in. That means an American citizen who has, say, assets in maybe TikTok. That means that these companies, Trump's going to be like, blocked. Assets gone. I mean, this is extreme. This is
serious.
Yes.
Whether it's the right thing or
Sorry if that was loud, but
Whether
this
it's-
needed to happen. This is important right here. This is serious. That's
China-
why I read that and I was like, ho, ho, ho. If you're working for China, you're in trouble.
And this means
Period.
This means these professors.
Yep. Exactly.
This means agencies that do student visas.
Yep.
This is just cut off basically everything.
And this was yesterday. So the implications of today, Twitter being a major cyber
Against
attack
a former president and the current president, a contender for the president.
Exactly. Serious, man.
I think it's war, man.
Yep.
And I've talked about it too. I've done several segments that we're on the brink of war with China, that we've had, they've lasered our planes.
Yep.
That's basically like letting them know that we can target you. They've sent, their strike group through the South China Sea.
They're trying to take over some Indian land. They're fighting with India.
Yep.
There's reports of them taking land from almost every neighboring country around them.
Yeah, you got the concentration camps.
Yep. I saw a video today of them moving a lot of them. It was a terrible video. But
I gotta say it. This is China. China is our generation's Nazi Germany.
Yep.
Not an exaggeration in the least bit. They're expanding. They're seizing land they say is historically theirs.
Yep.
They're locking people in concentration camps, harvesting their organs to be sold.
Yep.
They've stolen our manufacturing base. They control too much of what we need, and now they're going to start repressing Hong Kong. And this is have been.
They
literally are doing it.
Yeah.
The people of Hong Kong are used to, like English common law as a former British, I believe it was a colony of the UK, of Britain. And it's being transferred to China, and now they're starting to suppress their rights.
Yep.
People have been asking, what are we going to do? Are we going to do something? Well, the law gives Trump the power to do so. Check this out. He says, what does it say? Or the following persons, any foreign person determined by the Secretary of State in consultation with the Secretary of Treasury or the Secretary of the Treasury in consultation with the Secretary of State to be or have been involved directly or indirectly, look at that,
Yep.
Wow.
in the coercing, arresting, detaining, or imprisoning of individuals under the authority of, or to be or have been responsible for, or involved in developing, adopting, implementing the law of the People's Republic of China on safeguarding national security in the Hong Kong Administrative Region. To be responsible for or complicit in, or to have engaged in directly or indirectly any of the following: actions or policies that undermine democratic processes or institutions in Hong Kong, actions or policies that threaten the peace, security, stability, or autonomy of Hong Kong, censorship or other activities with respect to Hong Kong that prohibit, limit, or penalize the exercise of freedom of expression or assembly by citizens of Hong Kong, or that limit access to free and independent print, online, or broadcast media, or the extrajudicial rendition, arbitrary detention, or torture of any person in Hong Kong, or other gross violations of internationally recognized human rights or serious human rights abuses in Hong Kong. to be or have been the leader of, he goes on, but I want to point this out, indirectly.
Yeah, indirectly.
China is communist.
Yep.
They use market economics to their advantage to grow, but Chinese officials are, at every level of these companies, these purchases, the investments, these foreign maneuvers.
That's TikTok. He's talking about TikTok. That's an indirect attack that they're stealing American data indirectly. China has access to that.
If it's
a Chinese company,
they
have
America,
access to it.
It's about Hong Kong.
Okay.
It's about
That's
whether
true.
or not you are indirectly in some way hurting Hong Kong. I'm sure if they were doing it to America, it's already enough for Trump to take some of these actions.
Good point.
So to have materially assisted, sponsored, provided financial, material, or technological support for, there it is. If a Chinese official uses TikTok, that's it. This is extremely broad. This gives Trump insane power. It gives the U.S. government. He says, Section 5, I hereby determine that the making of donations of the types of articles specified in Section 203 by, to, or for the benefit of any person whose property and interests in property are blocked pursuant to Section 4 of this order would seriously impair my ability to deal with the national emergency declared in this order, and I hereby prohibit such donations as provided by Section 4 of this order. Even more broad.
Wow.
You can't give money to somebody who maybe is indirectly providing technological support to somebody. This is
wow.
This
it's
is
7 degrees of separation almost.
So is it a coincidence then that we see this major cyber attack in the U.S.?
Not at all. It's the first thing that popped in my head. Like, yep, the executive order. Now you're telling me Twitter just got slammed. It's like, yeah, that makes total sense.
Let me know if you see blue checks coming back onto Twitter.
I will keep an eye on it
because this has been going on for a long time.
Yeah, it's been a few hours now.
It's been a few hours.
We
can't tweet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start a garden.
The Chaz garden.
Whoa, Taz.
Oh, Taz garden.
Oh gosh, sorry.
You're out.
Okay.
Get out. Get out of the zone.
I'm out.
You mean sign off the Twitter?
No, I can't. I have to check.
The Twitter zone.
The
Taz.
Twitter zone.
Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna start a Taz garden.
No blue
checks. It's gonna be digital.
I don't see anything.
A digital garden, if you will.
Yes.
We're gonna grow digital roses that we're gonna smell. They're gonna smell great. And
the best.
Yes, the best digital roses you've ever smelled.
Frankly,
I've never actually smelled a digital rose, but it should be
I'm pretty sure
good.
they don't have a smell at them, but you're the boss.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. So, are you checking to see if you
checking.
can
I don't
tweet?
see anything.
I got sent something from a high-profile individual talking about a leaked admin control panel, but I don't know if it's real. So I'm just trying to.
I'd be very careful about being sent anything on Twitter right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now I'm hearing that it's not just blue check marks. Like we heard with you, Lydia, you couldn't tweet.
I couldn't tweet for a while.
A bunch of people were blocked out as well.
Wow.
They I don't know how they did it, what their decision was, but maybe it's time to nationalize Twitter.
Yeah, maybe.
So Will Chamberlain of Human Events has been I don't want to say he's a proponent of nationalizing, but he's saying it now. But he has been a proponent of social media access being a human right. And I think, you know what I want to do? I want to pull up, I believe I'm going to try Josh Hawley's letter.
Yes.
Josh Hawley has been talking about issues of social media, free speech, and censorship, and has, according to Saurabh Sharma, Ramblings in the Daily Caller. Now, I gotta tell you, nobody's verified.
Right.
So
we
I don't know if
know
anybody is.
That's a good point.
We're have to rely on, but I've seen this going around, and it looks legit. He says, inbox. Senator Hawley, MO, just sent this letter to Twitter CEO Jack per the security breaches today. The letter reads, Dear Mr. Dorsey, as I write, Twitter seems to be experiencing a large-scale cyber attack as illustrated by a number of posts inviting users to transfer Bitcoin under fraudulent pretenses. The accounts targeted include those for Apple, Uber, Jeff Bezos, former President Barack Obama, and even the Democratic nominee for president. The list of affected accounts is growing by the minute. Some affected accounts are alleged to have been protected by Twitter's two-factor authentication. That is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Washington Post verifies that Hawley sent this.
Okay.
Yeah.
He says, I am concerned that this event may represent not merely a coordinated set of separate hacking incidents, but rather a successful attack on the security of Twitter itself. As you know, millions of your users rely on your service, not just to tweet publicly, but also to communicate privately through your direct message service. A successful attack on your system servers represents a threat to all of your users' privacy and data security.
Yep.
Please reach out immediately to the Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigation and take any necessary measures to secure this site secure the site before this breach expands. Once you have attended to immediate concerns, please respond to the following questions. Did this event represent a breach of users' account security or of Twitter's systems? Were accounts protected by two-factor authentication successfully targeted in this breach? If so, how is this possible? Did this breach compromise the account security of users whose accounts were not used to share fraudulent posts? If so, how many accounts were affected? Were all account security compromised by this breach? How many users may have faced data theft as a consequence of this breach? What measures does Twitter undertake to prevent system-level hacks from breaching the security of its entire user base? Did this attack threaten the security of the president's own Twitter account? Sincerely, Josh Hawley.
I want to know the answers.
Me too.
Yeah, we need to know.
How did they bypass two-factor? I know several ways. Now, listen, my immediate reaction when I saw this was state-level attack, cyber war, and all that stuff, because I know people. And I've known a lot of people, and I've interviewed several people who could snap their fingers and pull off things like this. This seems like a sophisticated intelligence agency attack.
Yep.
The fact that we're still under this lockdown and Twitter can't get a hold of things, I can't stress enough how absolutely insane that is.
It is.
It sounds like Jack Dorsey himself has been locked out of his own company.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
What do you do?
Shut it down.
They did. They've shut it down to the extent they can. But what would happen if these hackers literally over time removed the administrator's ability? Think about it. When you're developing Twitter,
That's a good point.
you can put all these codes in place. What would happen if a state level actor over the span of a year was writing code and adding it to their code base so that they could have a kill switch?
Yeah.
That they press the button and then every single employee of Twitter was locked out and Twitter is now controlled completely.
Wow, true autonomous zone.
How would they deal with that? I'm talking like state level serious. You got that button.
Wow.
How dare you button.
It's all I have now.
I'm going to see
yeah,
what
huh?
so I was able to bypass the restrictions. This is huge.
I allowed it to happen.
Yes.
Will came to me and he said, Warlord Adam, is this okay that I pass this on? And I said, yes, it's okay. You can
tweet.
post it.
I am verified on Twitter. I tried to tweet, and it wouldn't let me. And this is what it said. So I asked Will Chamberlain of Human Events to tweet it because Will Chamspier, the editor-in-chief of Human Events, he's not verified. And he said, hey, Timcast wants me to tweet something. And I'm saying, let me in. But this is what I see when I try and tweet. Something went wrong, but don't fret. Let's give it another shot. No, let's not. It didn't work. Mm-hmm. So Will, ever so humorously, changed his name from Chamberlain to Chamspier.
He's enjoying this a lot.
Because he's declaring the proletariat Twitter unverified revolution. And that's basically what's going on Twitter right now, for those who are not familiar. All of the unverified people are laughing. Blue checks is trending.
Blue checks is
Hacks
trending.
is trending. And lots of memes.
So many memes.
So I want to see if... let me see. Kevin Roos is retweeted by Will Chamberlain. If whoever apparently has read-write access to every verified Twitter account also has access to those accounts' DMs, this could make the Sony hack look tiny.
Oh, I remember that.
Could you imagine what would happen if the direct messages of journalists got released?
Oh,
I mean, they obviously have access to it.
They have access to Barack Obama's direct
might,
messages.
They might have been downloading everything.
Joe Biden's direct messages.
And it's too late. It's too late. They already had it. If they were tweeting out, they could see it, and they were probably.
And maybe,
man, the fallout's going to be insane on this.
Maybe it's not so much a shot across the bow as a, it's Captain Jack riding away on the Interceptor, waving goodbye. This fake Bitcoin thing was them saying, we exfiltrated your data.
Yep.
Have a nice day.
Yep. We got what we needed.
And then what did they do?
Keep talking about Bitcoin.
And they scuttled the ship on the way out.
Yep.
So now Jack's like, what happened? How do we fix this? We don't know.
Yep. And you can't. They got the information.
No, I mean, Jack can't even gain control of Twitter. I say Jack, but like people at Twitter right now, there's no control. They can't stop these hacks. They can't. Blue checks are shut down completely.
Wow.
You know the scene I'm talking about in Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna explain this.
The first movie, right?
The first one.
Yeah.
So Jack and Will, the two characters, want to steal this ship, but you can't crew a ship with only two people. So he goes on to I forget which ship. It's the Dauntless, I think. And then he starts trying to pull the sails down, and the Royal Guard see him, and they laugh. So they take the Interceptor, which they have used a whole crew to set everything up, come over to board that ship and get him off, and then he jumps to the other ship and takes off with it. And then he turns around and waves goodbye. And when they try to catch him, their ship has been scuttled. The rudder chain's been broken.
Yep.
So maybe that's what it is. They got in, they got the data, and then they busted it up and then said, Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin.
Yep, Bitcoin.
So that everyone would know they did it. But more importantly, national security, Trump, the feds, the DOJ are right now going, what did they get?
Yep, what did they get?
And Jack Dorsey is probably sweating bullets.
I would be if I was in his seat.
Could you imagine?
But I'm not. I'm sitting on my new
That's right,
Twitter
your new
throne.
What do you think would happen if all of the DMs of every blue check journalist just got dropped?
Oh my.
I'd get my reading glasses on.
There would be a civil war in 2 seconds.
I would.
2 seconds.
You know, I made my throne out of blue checks too.
blue checks.
Blue
You
checks.
seized them from the
I
corpses.
did. I took them all and just made a big throne out of
Putting
it.
blue checks in the guillotine.
It's great.
Nice.
No, but I'm not kidding. I mean, there are stories, right? Covington, for instance. Imagine when you get access to the DMs of these journalists who are lying, and you find out some of them lied on purpose.
Yeah.
What happens
And
when
who's telling them to lie?
Yep.
And yeah, the real truth
And
of
what's
everything.
coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to read them all.
Yeah, I wanna know what's coming.
I can't wait almost.
The United
Jeez.
States, the U.S. would be ripped apart in 2 seconds.
It's true.
Now to be
it is
fair,
quite frightening.
I think that actually might that might strengthen the U.S. in a dangerous way.
How so?
If we saw that the entire news industry was corrupt and these people behind the scenes were lying on purpose,
Yep.
then they would be completely disregarded. The entire argument of the left would be gone.
Yep.
And Trump would be saying, I told you they were fake news.
Yep.
And then what would happen? Trump loyalists, the military, everybody would say, whatever you say, Trump,
Yep.
because we can't trust those people. Just totally destroy whatever credibility they had. You're going to see conversations between Antifa, far leftists, violent, criminals and terrorists and journalists laughing together.
Yep.
You're gonna see conversations, because I know these exist, where journalists is jokingly talking to somebody about grabbing a drink and then them saying, hey, I got a big story, check it out, this guy did this thing, cool, like, yeah, feed me all that stuff. Yeah, you're gonna see journalists saying, anything I can amplify. You got any actions coming up that I can publish so that people show up?
Or let's spread this specific story so no one knows about what the real workings of what's happening right over here. Let's just blow this story out of proportion. Ivanka held up a Goya can. Oh my gosh, let's spread it everywhere. Meanwhile, everything is happening.
I'm talking about sources, though.
Yeah, definitely.
The journalists talking to themselves, that'll be interesting stuff. You're going to see them being like, which story are you covering? If it was the activists, though, you're going to see journalists being like, keep up the good work, guys. That was really great. And they're going to be like, did you see that we bashed that guy's head? And haha, yeah, I did. You're going to see that from journalists.
Probably.
I've been privy to some of the conversations these people have, and I'll tell you, some of the stuff I won't bring up because it will compromise sources and ongoing, news and investigations. But
Yeah.
you'd be surprised what the far left, what these activists do, how far they're willing to go, and how nasty they can be, who they're communicating with. I got to be very vague on this, but there are certain individuals who. I can't. I don't want to compromise an ongoing investigation because there could be some big stories and the stuff that I know. But just put it this way, there's some evil people.
It looks like the blue checks are back.
Blue checks are back.
No.
It looks like Ted Cruz is posting.
Oh yeah, everyone's back. Thomas Massey's back. Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone's returned.
Seems like
So is the-
Nature's healing.
it's
I
opened
guess.
up a little bit.
Are there any updates? Are we seeing anything from did Ted Cruz address it, or is anything going on?
No, he just did
These
thing,
look like
a
old
Zoolander
tweets.
jumping up. I mean, it's from 40 seconds ago.
Okay, so it looks
this is
like
brand
maybe
new.
they were backlogged. I don't know.
Were they backlogged?
I don't know. So I'm trying to. Okay, Dave Rubin says hello. Hello,
Oh.
Dave.
Yeah.
Yashar says
Welcome
test.
back.
The tweets I tried putting out aren't out, so
Okay.
I
Yeah.
refuse to relinquish control.
Okay.
Nope,
Understandable.
not happening. Sorry, Twitter.
Everyone's back.
Well,
The garden will be assembled.
That's right. I need
Twitter
those
garden.
roses.
Well, the good news is that it wasn't until the Chazastanis showed up to Mayor Durkin's house
Oh right.
that she actually shut him down. So I think you'll be okay so long as you don't actually tweet at Jack.
As soon as I told them I made a throne out of blue checks, they were like,
came
"Whoa,
back.
whoa, too far, too far."
No,
did
just
it.
don't tweet at Jack. You tweet at Jack, and then he's like, send him in.
Yeah.
Send in the feds.
So, civil war or war with China?
Yeah, man.
It's got to be China,
We've been talking about this for months
Both.
right?
now.
So I think which one of you said it? You were like, so does this replace the Civil War then?
Me.
And
Yeah,
then
it was like, is this World War or Civil War? Which
Yeah.
would be.
and we did talk about this before on this show that the only thing that would probably stop a civil war is a common enemy, a common threat.
China. Yep.
Yeah. And then people would be like, overnight, I don't care about whatever that was.
Yep.
Because
All petty.
COVID
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, exactly.
China's operating concentration camps, man. What do we do?
I know, it's messed up. How are people not freaking out about that?
We can't fall victim to any of the classic blunders. Least of all is never get into a land war in Asia.
That's right. Oh, we can't do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
wow. You're not kidding. Except now I'm really taking it seriously.
I don't know what that specifically references though from Princess Bride.
I don't know. Yeah.
Like Napoleon and
Seems wise. I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, so I guess that's it. I guess the blue checks are back. That was a really long
short
cyber attack.
how long was
Revolution.
that? How long?
It was like
2 hours?
When did they get hit?
no 2.5 hours.
Yeah, maybe 3.
2.5
Yeah.
almost 3 hours.
Right on.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
I want to know the answers to those questions to Jack from who wrote those? Who wrote that letter?
Josh Hawley.
Josh Hawley. Yeah, I want to know the answers, Jack.
Do we nationalize?
We all as Americans deserve to know how far we were compromised because we use your service, and it's on you.
Yeah.
and your employees.
I think we have no choice right now.
But to
We need some kind of nationalization of Twitter.
So, so Josh Hawley is kind of one of my heroes because he's been calling for an internal audit on Twitter since like April.
Well, now
3rd,
it seems like
I
they
think
won't
is
have
the
a
date. I
choice
don't
in the
think they'll have a
matter.
choice anymore. Yeah, so this
They
is
have
great,
to.
I
They
think.
all right. Like you have to be audited now. Like we need to
Yeah.
know what happened.
Got some real questions.
Who, did someone leak, the password, the entrance key, the
It
back
was
door.
probably password.
No, this is more than that, man.
I know. Yeah.
But this is not about an audit. This is about if they're in now, we don't need to audit. We need
To lock-
hard
we need to lock it
lockdown.
in.
Yeah.
Hard
Yeah.
lockdown.
Agreed.
We've mentioned it. If someone takes they took these accounts,
Yep.
they could have tweeted something way worse.
You're absolutely right.
The Bitcoin thing, I think, netted 100 grand or something.
Oh, did they? They got a bunch of money.
That's what people are saying. Yeah, it reached like 100 grand.
That's not.
but-
doesn't seem like worth it on this kind of a scale.
Cernovich was right. You
I think so. I think
you
it's.
short sale Tesla.
Yep.
Then have Musk tweet out something about his passing, and then
Yeah.
boom, you're rich
Yeah, they could have done so much more damage.
and harder to trace too.
100K is like,
But hard. Listen.
I mean, it's sure it sounds like a lot of money, but
No, listen.
it is not in the scheme of things.
They can't use these bitcoins. These bitcoins are on a public ledger. They can track where they're going.
Yeah.
If they did the short sale scam, you wouldn't know who was shorting Tesla.
That's true.
Was the person who did the hack, and that person would make the money and they could spend it. So this was not that.
Yep.
So right now the conversation
Smoke
is:
screen.
do we nationalize Twitter? And there's a lot of reasons. For one, it's a complete. It's 10 steps above Section 230 reform. You'd have First Amendment protections if that were the case.
Yep.
U.S. Cyber Command and whatever else, officials come in and they start reinforcing our communications grid, our social media technology.
I think it needs to happen.
Could you imagine if, say, in like World War II, we lost the ability to communicate?
That'd be crazy. We would have lost if we couldn't communicate with around the world and coordinate our attacks. Like there's I mean I've seen lots of documentaries about World War II, about the amount of stuff that they did in that war, and it's incredible. The communication era.
Yeah.
If we didn't have it, who knows how long it would have taken. Right, and if we would have won at all.
This is what I've been saying for a long time. It's really scary.
Yeah.
That these social media companies are slowly replacing the commons. We used to have public debates at the town hall meetings,
Right.
at church, at the work water cooler. Now it's all social media, and you've got private Big Brother looking over you. And guess what? While Twitter could have been working on reinforcing its security, what were they instead doing?
Worrying
Changing words in their code that
changing
was
words.
offensive.
And that was offensive, and blocking people that were talking about things they didn't want talked about.
You want to know what I've noticed
What?
when it comes to this critical race theory, social justice stuff?
What?
How come it's all of their arguments are literally just the bonds of a functioning society?
That's a good point.
So destroy the family.
Right.
The things they target, time, schedules, that's racist, that's whiteness. Destroy those.
Did
Responsibility.
you see that list? The white culture list?
Yeah, I talked about it. It's annoying because these things aren't even white culture.
Yeah, it's not.
Like it bothers me. I'm like, you think people in China don't have time?
Right.
That you think people in Japan didn't have schedules for farming?
You think communists don't pay attention to the time of the day, the time of the
and
month
have schedules?
to plant food to
That's
still
why-
eat?
I think the degree to which we've been infiltrated is worse than anyone imagines.
I agree with you.
Take a look at this tweet. Christopher F. Rufo. Let's see, who is this guy? He's the director of Discovery Institute Center on Wealth and Poverty. Said, critical race theory is spreading rapidly through the federal government. Last week, a whistleblower sent me a trove of documents about a divisive diversity training at the Treasury Department. What I discovered is deeply disturbing and an affront to equality. Buckle up. The training is called Difficult Conversations About Race and calls on white employees at Treasury, Federal Reserve, FDIC, CFPB, and NCUA to pledge allyship amid the George Floyd tragedy. The goal is explicit: to convert everyone in the federal government to anti-racism. He then goes through all these details, which I'm not going to read because I think most people understand, the claim. They claim the expression, we should be more colorblind, and we've made so much progress from the 60s are in fact racist statements. So we get this. This is in the Federal Reserve, the Treasury, the FDIC, CFPB, NCUA. The degree to which this fractured and demented ideology is spreading throughout our armed forces, our corporations, and our federal government is alarming.
I agree.
And it's worse than we realize. And what you need to understand is it's not a question of equality. It's not a question of racism. The things that they claim are racist: schedules, time,
being accountable for your actions.
Yeah. I wonder
Did you hear
if I can,
that? I have it sitting here. I could read it.
Oh, here.
Being accountable for your actions
Oh, sorry.
is just blew me away. The scientific method, objective, rational, linear thinking, cause and effect relationships.
Isn't this so
working
condescending?
working hard to being the key to success. What?
Isn't that so condescending?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Absolutely. It's ridiculous. Like,
all right, I got it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All right,
There we
thanks.
go.
Bring it
That's
up.
what we
Check
wanted.
us out.
Sorry about that.
This is what is infecting our federal government at the highest levels,
This is
our
insane.
financial institutions. They say the family structure is white culture that you have internalized. These are the things they're saying we must get rid of when they say abolish whiteness or whatever. And we see journalists. Let me tell you a story. Maybe should I call these people out?
I think so.
I'm gonna.
Are we going to get in trouble?
I don't want to start.
No. Don't do it then.
When I worked for Fusion, one of the highest ranking individuals had a Twitter banner that said something like abolish whiteness.
Wow.
And you have to really look into that, see what that means. What does that mean? It means no family structure, no husband, no wife in the homemaker. Children should have their own rooms and be independent. No scientific method. History. They say the history is based on Europe and everything. Yes, we have history. Those who forget their history are doomed to repeat it.
Oh.
Protestant work ethic. Work ethic is whiteness. Hard work is the key to success. They say that's whiteness, must be abolished.
Work before play.
This is in our federal government. These diversity and inclusion initiatives are a Trojan horse, okay? Because we already believe in these things. We already have laws guaranteeing these things since 1964. They said it's racist. We're getting to that point. I wouldn't be surprised if this whole stream gets taken down for us even talking about this.
Yep.
Look at this. They say religion. These are things they want to get rid of. Time. Follow rigid time schedules. Time is viewed as a commodity. Wealth equals worth. Your job is who you are. Respect authority.
Wow.
Really. Only white people do that. And this is a part of what they're teaching in schools. Apparently they have units in the military, and they're trying to convert everyone in the federal government to these things. Now, I don't necessarily believe upon reading these things that the goal is actually to create a cohesive ideology for which people will follow for any real means. It looks like they're trying to destroy the bonds of a functioning society. Time, following a schedule. What would happen if no one showed up for meetings on time? There'd be no meetings.
That's correct.
Someone would show up at 9 and say, where's everybody? Nobody shows up till 9:15. 9:10 comes around, the guy leaves. 9:15, someone shows up, who cares? Following a time schedule. Well, that's whiteness. We abolished that. Work ethic. Hard work is the key to success. Imagine if no one did any hard work and they sat around.
So that would be the end of humanity as we know it.
Except there are still many people around the world who engage in hard work.
That's true.
So if you want to destroy a country, these are the kind of ideas you need to instill in their people. Get them really angry. Tell them, stop working hard. Stop following schedules.
Steak and potatoes
Look at
Steak
this.
and potatoes.
This is fake too. Aesthetics based on European culture. Steak and potatoes, bland is best. Do you know what the East India Trading Company was all about?
Spices.
Spices.
Yeah, spices.
Wars were literally fought to make food taste good.
Exactly.
This is fake. So they're trying to look at this. Aesthetics, man's attractiveness based on economic status, power, and intellect. These are things that make a society function, and not just ours.
Was
China.
that competition? Be number one, win at all costs, winner/loser to comedy. Oh my goodness, this is
Action orientation, master and control nature, must always do something about a situation.
instead of what? What is the opposite of that?
They're
do
literally
nothing
telling
about a
you,
situation. Don't do anything.
Don't work hard. Don't follow schedules. And if something bad happens, don't do anything.
Don't respect authority. Don't make any decisions. Decision making.
Yep.
So don't make any decisions. Wow.
This is
This-
insidious.
It is
slow-
absolutely.
And creeping transformation, destroying the bonds of a functioning society.
Yeah, this is every single thing on here is solid. It's like what does it have to be? What does this have to do with being white?
And what they're going right.
Nothing. There's nothing that has to do with being white.
You know why?
on this.
You know why it
It's
really bothers
insane.
me?
What?
I told this story, I'm pretty sure to you before, when I was at the Dakota Access Pipeline protest.
Okay.
And this guy was telling me that time was
Yeah.
colonial.
Mm-hmm.
To tell me that my family that came from Korea
Yeah.
were unaware of the concept of scheduling a meeting.
Right.
But that was because white people brought it there. That's not true. You didn't make up time.
Right.
But these people believe white people invented time
That
schedules.
is super demeaning.
These people are extremely racist.
Absolutely.
White-
100%.
This is from white supremacists.
That's what it seems like.
When you say that hard work is whiteness,
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
that is white supremacy.
Absolutely.
That is straight out of the mouth of the Klan.
It's crazy.
Yep.
I don't understand how we're here right now.
And what do you think happens when people in our federal government all start adhering to this stuff?
I don't know.
Yeah, so the bonds have been weakened by people like Alyssa Milano who tweet print money.
Print money.
Yep.
Someone who says just print money has no idea what they're talking about with
I'm
economics at all.
As we're facing, say, this major hack, now that I think things are getting resolved, how easy it would be to disrupt and destroy, and we're on the verge of a serious international crisis, catastrophe, world war, whatever you want to call it. China's encroaching in the South China Sea. They're threatening us. They're threatening Taiwan. They have concentration camps.
So in India,
Threatening India.
I
There's
read
been
about
clashes on the border of
them
India.
taking over a Russian city.
A Russian city?
Yep.
What happened with that?
That they claim they had it was originally Chinese land, and because of a treaty in like 1910 or something like that, Russia got this city, and then over time, and I guess they said, no, that treaty is null and void. We're taking it. Like, how is that not? I wish I had it pulled up. I don't have it, but from what I remember, what I read, that's
It's World
basically
War
what it
II
is.
all over again, man.
Yep.
Concentration camps, the stealing of land they claim is ancestrally theirs.
Yep.
And now it's a direct confrontation with us. I wonder why it is that we've known for some time now about the concentration camps, that they're taking the Uyghur Muslims and harvesting their organs and hair and selling them.
Yep.
And nothing has been done by anybody. Now, we've done sanctions.
I didn't hear about it until I came here and you told me about it. It's like no one's talking about that. There's no news.
They're more concerned about whiteness in the federal government.
Right.
I feel like this stuff...
You know what that is? That's the Bitcoin of this Twitterness. Get everyone thinking about this while everything else is happening. Look at the Bitcoin. Look at the Bitcoin while we're undermining everything. Look at this. There's whiteness, racism, while they're undermining everything. And that is what we need to pay attention to. That racism is not prevalent. Yes, there's racists, of course. There probably always will be. Look at Nick Cannon, what he was saying. That's racist.
That dude went off the rails.
He did. But you know what? Freedom of speech in this country.
Yep.
Okay, fine, say it. I think you're an a-hole for saying all that stuff.
He only got fired from one gig. He still has like a bunch of other hosting jobs. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
He said things that I can't repeat.
I can't believe I heard someone say that nowadays. And he's spouting Farrakhan, and it's like I looked into him, and he's crazy, and scares me that people are actually following that ideology.
Look, man, if I were to be conspiratorial right now,
Mm-hmm.
it seems like China has been trying to, you know how you want to do the dishes, right? You can't just go in and wash the dish. You got to soak the dishes. You got to soak them because all that cheese is all stuck to the bottom, and you're like, I can't get out. You try to take a knife and you're scraping it, but now you're just ruining the pan.
Wait, hold on. Are you trying to say that America is the food stuck on dishes right now?
America.
And China's trying to do the dishes?
And
Am I getting that right?
The analogy is that China is soaking. Instead of just going with a hard attack.
Right.
They've allowed this ideology to be bolstered and fester.
Well, I'll tell you what, though.
If I were to be
it does
conspiratorial.
feel like a lot of American citizens are softer nowadays.
Very soft.
And then people who stand up and have a strong spine. Canceled.
Yep.
Oh, are you talking against canceled? Get rid of it. We can't have people thinking that they can be strong, that they can have a strong mind and have critical thinking. No. Let's not have people idolize strong thinkers. Let's have them
I don't think
wither away.
you have about like 11 or 12% of the CDC demanding the CDC declare a public health crisis due to racism.
They can't do that.
It's not possible.
They cannot do that.
Because right, it's not a function of their.
I'm talking about what the ramifications
Oh,
of
okay.
what that would mean if they do that.
I thought you meant it was like not bureaucratically possible to make a decree.
I don't know if maybe they can, but
do you know what would happen?
They cannot do it though.
Do you know what would happen if that was the case though? If the CDC said okay,
man,
all of a sudden you will find yourself one day they're burning the Declaration of Independence.
Probably.
Oh, but it was made by white slave owners to defend their slaveocracy. You don't want to defend that.
But it
You're
also
not racist,
declared
are you?
every man equal.
Yep.
It's like that's what they want to get rid of.
People don't understand how serious this is when you have a large portion of various federal government agencies that have become zombified.
Yep.
So maybe it's not just war with China. Maybe it's both civil war and war with China. Maybe the goal would be that if a war with China breaks out, they trigger some kind of internal conflict so that we destroy ourselves.
Well,
it's the only way they'd win.
Doesn't that make sense? Doesn't
Right.
that seem like the exact thing that they would want to do?
And I will say it again. The things listed in this white culture thing are literally just the bonds of a functioning society.
Yeah, exactly.
Hard work,
Right.
hierarchy, time schedules. This is not unique to white people. Self-reliance.
Self-reliance.
It's like, have you ever watched anime? Like anime characters, superhero comics, whatever, they all teach these things. It's cross-cultural.
Yep.
Being number one, winning.
Hierarchy.
Being polite.
Yep.
Not showing emotion is like I show my emotions proudly.
Avoiding conflict.
Avoid conflict.
Yep.
Intimacy is a white thing.
Look at this written tradition.
How dare you?
This is not anything to do with white. They're literally saying if you want to end racism, you need to stop avoiding conflict.
Yep.
Whoa. So what, we should go around fighting each other? If you want to end racism, you need to start showing your emotion. Be angry. They say it on Twitter all the time.
Yeah.
You telling me to calm down is white supremacy. It is nonsensical.
Having a civil conversation is white supremacy, I guess now.
But how else do they get people to stand behind this stuff?
I don't know.
They say,
Craziness.
Adam, you're not racist, are you? You want to end white supremacy, don't you? Of course. Who
Sure,
doesn't?
of course.
Everybody does. It's horrible.
Well, this
Let me
is
show
what
you
it
a
is.
list. Yep. There it is. Intent. Protecting property. Protecting your property is white supremacy.
Wow.
That
Yeah.
sounds pretty communist.
I had a conversation earlier with a local guy, and I told him about what happened in St. Louis. And I said I've been warning people, man, and I mean this seriously. A mob of 300 to 500 people showed up to a private community.
Okay.
Signs say no trespassing. They apparently broke a lock, entered. At some point, someone broke the gate. The people who live in the house, who saw these people enter their private property, on their property, brandished weapons. I don't mean that in a negative sense. Like they pulled out their guns and said, "Get off our property." They were on their own property. It was private property that was gated. A mob of people broke in,
Yep.
threatened them, and this is a castle doctrine state. What law did they break?
I don't know. I'm
Well,
not sure.
What ended up happening was the protesters came back. And then the police came back, served a warrant, and seized the rifle from this homeowner, who in a castle doctrine state stood his ground on his property when people broke into his private property. Why did the police go after him? I am telling you this now. When the mob comes to your house, So many people just cannot understand this, and I've been saying it for a long time. It will not be a bunch of Antifa lunatics banging on your door threatening you. It's going to be a bunch of lunatics in the street screaming. The police will come to your door, knock, and say, I'm really sorry to do this, but you're under arrest. For what? We got a warrant. For what? Doesn't matter. I'm just doing my job. The people in St. Louis, the McCloskeys, were attacked.
Yep.
Legally defended themselves, and the police went after them. So what do you think happens when the financial institutions are now overrun with these zombified cultists?
That's scary to think about.
It's absolutely scary to think about. You'll find your bank account frozen, your insurance not paid out, your MasterCard gets canceled, you get terminated from all internet services, you are canceled outright.
Yep.
And you can do nothing about it. And it's in government. So right now, some people think, well, at least, we're still equal under the law. And that's what comes next. The financial institutions have already banned people. There's many people who are banned from owning credit cards and from using them in people in their homes.
Yep.
There's many people who have been banned from speaking on social media. And now we're learning the federal government has these people coming.
Yep.
So then what's going to happen is, there will be a law that says, you are FDIC insured. Your bank account, for whatever reason, it went under, and we're going to insure that cash in there. And you're going to show up, and the person working in the government's going to go, oh, it's you. You're not a bigot, are you? Says here online, you've been canceled. Bye-bye. But I'm legally entitled to, I don't care.
Yep.
But my money, I don't care. Because you're a racist. And what happens if the CDC declares a public health emergency? And then you actually have some kind of weird CDC enforcement of, well, time is white supremacy. It's just destroying the bonds and walking us down towards the cliff to jump off.
Yep.
Meanwhile, we've got serious conflict brewing with China. And people keep saying, it's a bit irksome. China's a paper tiger. They can't do anything. They're too weak. They'll never win. We're not going to be fighting a war where, a bunch of U-boats or whatever crash into the shores of China or something, or Taiwan,
right.
Or where Chinese boats crash into the shores of Los Angeles. We're going to be fighting a social media war where private information and financial details get leaked. What would happen if China, say, exfiltrated banking information and published all of it? Every credit card, every username and password of every bank account.
It's a frightening premise.
It would be like if if there was one big bank that everyone, went to in this country, just one, and all the money was in it. And then one day they just blew it up and all the money was just laying there. Everybody would just run and start grabbing whatever they could. If they published every name and username of banking accounts, and I believe they have the capability to do so, especially after this,
Yeah.
random people would just log in and start taking your money, and you'd have nothing. Everyone would have nothing. It would just be the end.
Scary.
Or your private details, your private information, your private messages. Yeah. The bonds of society would fracture.
Yeah,
collapse.
it would be a cyber attack. I mean, they could hit our power source. They can hit. I mean, that especially, like we would lose if we lost power, and everything just shut down, and we couldn't get it back up because they took over and put in some malware that just destroyed everything.
Yeah. Cyber attacks are serious business.
Yes, it is. Scary business.
For the longest time, we haven't had any really good cyber capability systems.
Right.
I remember, so there's a couple of hacker conventions, DEF CON and Black Hat, and I've seen demonstrations where they're like, oh, here's how you blow up an oil refinery. And they just types in a line of code and press enter, and then you watch the thing do a demonstration where it's like, oh, there it goes. There was one I watched where they actually popped a valve. They burst the pipes.
Wow.
They forced two pumps to go in the wrong direction and burst a pipe. It's that simple. And they were like, we can mount the a device on a drone. The drone could get within radio range, and we could transmit that wirelessly. And then gone.
Man.
Yep. Yeah.
It's gonna be
crazy times though, man.
This is 2020.
People, I see.
Round 7.
Yeah.
The funny thing to me about all this is, when people get mad that it's like it can never happen here. We've been hearing it over and over and over again. And I have to just say, it's like, I said this before, but I'm gonna say it again to everybody who's did I make all this up?
It can happen anywhere.
Am I the one who hacked Twitter and said it was a cyber attack? These are the conversations happening among journalists. We just saw this executive order from Trump.
Yep.
We just saw the in the past month, a strike group in China. These things have literally happened, and security experts have said, we fear this is going to happen. In 2015, The Atlantic wrote, Thucydides' trap is going to lead us into a war with China.
Yep.
And since then, we've had article after article after article. And you know what really annoys me? The stupid people who keep saying it'll never happen here, no matter how many times security experts keep saying it's starting to happen. It's almost here. Wow, that looks like it's it. They're like, this is not real. You're just fear mongering.
Well, we just got attacked today. Twitter just got hacked.
And listen, even if we take it at face value that it was a Bitcoin scam, that's the scariest proposition. You know why? You know what's less scary?
What?
It's actually comforting if this was an attack from China. You know why?
How come?
Because that means if this was just a Bitcoin scam, some random moron was able to take Obama and Biden's Twitter account and steal them from Jack Dorsey, and he couldn't do anything about it.
Yep.
If that's the case, imagine what China could do.
Right.
If some random idiot was able to fish Biden and then tweet a stupid Bitcoin scam.
And it's like the
No,
dam,
man.
you know about the Three Gorges Dam is like on full, like it's, all of them are open and it's flooding everything downtown.
Where?
Like Wuhan, everything's flooding downtown of the dam
Wow.
in China right now. So they're probably stressed. 400 million people live south of this.
Why
this
is the dam flooding the city?
Because the dam is can't hold back the water anymore. So it's at its peak.
Yeah.
So they have all of them open, just blasting water out right now. And who knows what's gonna happen? Like they're probably stressing. I don't even know what the implications of it
Well,
will
now
be.
you've
but
got,
it's happening. So China's definitely stressing about some stuff.
There's a big story now brewing in Africa. I don't have the details pulled up, but it has something to do with a dam on the, I think it's the Blue Nile. So
Okay.
there's the white and the blue, and then they merge into the Nile River. So Egypt is at the end, basically. And in Ethiopia, I think it is, they're building a dam, which is filling a reservoir, which is restricting water to Egypt, which could
Right.
slow it down. Egypt's starting to get worried
Yeah.
because they're reliant on the streams that come from these other places.
Yeah, that's true.
And apparently China is backing the project.
Wow.
That's at
Of
least
course.
some of the reports that I've seen. So,
Yeah, it says they failed to reach an agreement today.
was there Chinese involvement?
Well, I'm gonna check.
Yeah, see if you can find anything on that. Yeah, man. You know, earlier today, we were just chilling. We were skating. Adam threw down this line, and that was it. That's all that was. While the world was seemingly burning down on Twitter and people were screaming out these hacks, we were just chilling in the backyard. Cool breeze came in. Temperature dropped several degrees, like the lows in the 60s right now, and we were just skating, and everything was just gone away. But the more I talk to people, the crazy thing is like there are people around here who are starting to get worried and get scared.
Yep.
I was just talking to a guy who was telling me he's putting together like a big RV rig to GTFO.
Yep.
And I'm like, where do you hear this stuff? Why do you think that?
Right.
And who are these people who think nothing is happening? That everything's going to just be nothing? Like, there's so many things Barack Obama could have tweeted that would have just ended the world.
That's a good point.
What people need to realize about this Twitter hack, they took $136 billion off of the stock market in a matter of in a minute with one tweet from the AP. Imagine what would happen if they were able to take control of Donald Trump's Twitter account and then he tweeted something like,
Oh man.
I want to be careful about what I say.
I mean, any.
Could be anything.
Yeah, there's
Like,
countless
what if-
things we could probably say in this place there.
What if he just tweeted, the federal government arrested, person X from during the riots and has just summarily executed them in an offshore rig. Let this be a warning to the far left. You're next.
Right.
Whoa.
What do you think would happen if
Be crazy.
Yeah. Or if like Joe Biden announced that, we can't wait till the election. It's time to move in.
We're taking it.
Yep. We're ending it now before it's too late. There's a lot of things they could tweet, especially controlling that many accounts. The other thing too about the hack was that you could do a search for the terms and you could see that it was actually widespread. Non-verified users, people across the board had been hacked by this.
Wow.
Yeah, man. But I don't know. Should we be more optimistic? Is there a better way to look at things? Is there a different way to look at things? Is it because we're just watching the news all day that we get wrapped up in this stuff?
I mean, I am the optimist. I'm ever the optimist. I always try to be, look at the lighter side of things. But that doesn't mean I'm not a realist. And I think realistically, this is probably the closest we've come to war in my lifetime. I mean, like an actual world war. Like
Right.
there was the war in Afghanistan.
Exactly.
You know, sure.
Currently.
Like in the 90s, what was it? The
Desert Storm.
Desert Storm.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, you know, I wasn't really political, and it didn't really hit us here in America, where this is. It looks like they are undermining every facet of our country. And they're in the minds of the youth, and that scares me also. You know, I have a lot of friends of mine that I've been having these long conversations with, and a lot of them are mad at me and are blinded by this confused, like, call to be virtuous, essentially.
Yeah.
You know, they think they're being so virtuous by doing what they're doing, and then, you know, it's so hard to really just say all of the things that I've learned over the past 5 months. You know, like, I just want to be like, go watch every single episode of TimcastIRL, and you'll get a little hint of how I know all the things I know, because I've been doing nothing but conversating, you know, with people who know what they're talking about, and I've been looking into things, you know. But seeing this, like, even, I mean, this is crazy. This
the whiteness
the
stuff.
whiteness thing is, it's not white culture. It's civilization.
Yep.
Like,
Absolutely.
hard work. That's how humans got here.
Do they think
that's
that the
how
Japanese,
humans are still alive right now? Because of hard work. Because we worked hard to get here.
Did the Japanese not farm?
Right. Did they not farm? Do they not work hard?
What-
Japanese people work super hard.
What about the Middle
Every
East?
single country works hard to be the good citizens of every country work hard to do well and get a job and work and thrive. Everyone wants that. This is getting rid of all of this is just it. They just want to wipe out humanity. That's
Yeah.
the way I'm looking at it.
But it's only affecting the U.S.
It's crazy.
China's overtly racist.
Yeah, they are.
They make commercials and they laugh. They
Yep.
have a word, baitsua. It means white left. And it's basically their version of SJW.
It's true.
They mock. It's funny to them.
Yep.
It's funny to us too, to a certain degree.
Yeah, until they start undermining the roots of what it means to be an American.
When people were warning that the stuff in colleges would one day reach industry,
Yep.
a lot of people in the media were like, ha ha ha. There is hope. I was reading an article from Cook Political earlier, and they said that Donald Trump's path to victory is to hammer down on cancel culture. Because when it comes to the rioting, people are sympathetic to police brutality issues. But when it comes to cancel culture, the average person is terrified.
Yep, it's true.
Donald Trump has talked a bit about it. You know, when they pull down Christopher Columbus and stuff, people start getting, you know, they start giving the side eye like, wait, what's going on? But cancel culture isn't a direct attack on regular people.
Exactly.
What's Biden going to do? If Donald Trump says your supporters are attacking the jobs and the businesses of regular people trying to get him canceled,
Right.
what's Biden going to say? Well, F those voters? Sure, he can. And then they're going to be like, well, then F you too.
Yeah, exactly.
These people.
Biden's putting himself in a really, like, in a corner because he's catering to them. I watched his speech the other day. He sounded like he was talking to an empty room. But it regardless of that, it sounded like he was trying to say all the stuff that is Trump's platform without saying it.
Yep.
It's like,
Buy American.
how are you? He's trying to cater to both sides.
How dare you?
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. That was our new sound button, by the way.
Yeah, apparently we've had streamed that. We could have done it the whole time.
We've done it the
Yeah.
whole time.
Hey, ready for this? I'm gonna alley-oop you, okay?
For which one?
Well, Biden, it seems like he's really trying to.
Cheat an election.
Yes.
Good teamwork there, buddy.
Cheat an election.
We'll get better.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
Oh,
You can try
snap.
me. You can try me, Biden. But I see right through you, man.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
I ain't afraid of you, Biden.
We officially went from being very serious, the world is ending, to soundboard meme clips of Greta Thunberg yelling at
What
us.
are we gonna
I
do?
regret nothing.
No.
So, according to this Cook Political thing, if Trump starts coming out with this messaging that under Joe Biden he will be too weak to stop the far left, he's opened the door, and you'll lose your job, you'll be kicked out of school, and it's happened.
I forget the. There's an Antifa woman who was talking about how we need to vote for Biden because he's malleable.
Yeah.
He will bow down to the masses, and our current president won't.
Oh,
She
wow.
straight up said that.
Yep.
Wow.
And that is
That's true.
that is a frightening thing because I believe it. I agree with her. She's right on that, and that's why
What's-
we must vote for Trump.
What's obstinate times 100? Is there a word for that?
I don't know.
That's Trump.
Immovable. Yeah.
Immovable.
Yeah.
Man, if Trump doesn't want to, Trump doesn't do it.
Yep.
It's like that guy is well beyond stubborn. Joe Biden just goes, what? Huh?
What am I supposed to do? I've got this list here of
Yeah, I got
of,
stuff you
of
can do.
reporters I'm allowed to talk to. Is this person from the AP here?
Oh my gosh.
Is that what he did?
You didn't see that? Straight up.
He
just,
said is the person from the AP.
Yeah.
yes.
Maybe
He was
that's the
like,
plan,
is this
though, man."
specific person here? Anyone? And I don't know who it is. This is the list of approved people I'm allowed to talk to.
Maybe
Wow.
maybe the whole bit is to make Biden so non-threatening that the whole thing is just for and against Trump.
That's literally what it is.
Yeah.
People aren't
So-
voting for
so-
Biden.
So Biden's purposefully just milling about and falling asleep and
Yeah,
being
the
bumbly.
orange man bad rhetoric is flaring. It's flaring wide, and well, you know what? Little shine of light for everyone out there. For every person that has complained, that has yelled at me, that called me names, that has, on my Facebook page, I said I'm voting for Trump. I want to let's have a conversation about it. I'll explain to you why. We can talk. For every person that has been crazy coming at me, there's been more hitting me up privately going, you're 100% right. I agree with you. Not just privately, posting on the post too, defending me, talking about he's right. Especially my friend from Venezuela. He's like, I lived in Venezuela.
I saw that.
I'm a proud American citizen now.
That's so
I don't
great.
want it to happen here, and this is what's happening. And everyone just was like, yeah, whatever. They're not mutually exclusive. And it's like, are you kidding me? Are you even? And then that same person sent me a bunch of stuff like, here, we'll read all this stuff. And it was all, allegedly, Trump allegedly did this, everything this. And I was like, well, here, just, check this out too. No, I don't need to read propaganda. It's like they're brainwashed.
This is what I tell people. Do you think
But not everybody.
you're on the side of the good guys? Is it the good guys who refuse to learn and read and understand?
No.
So if you're someone who says, I won't read that, isn't that kind of what the bad guys do?
Absolutely.
Now, do you have a problem with Trump supporters who refuse to learn the truth? They say yes.
Yeah. I want
So-
everyone. I want to know
but
all sides
not-
of
but not you. I'm
all
talking about-
situations. I
I'm
want to read
talking
everything.
about these Democrats.
Right.
These lefties will be like, these Trumpsters don't even read the news.
It's like,
They
no,
believe
they're
conspiracy.
reading everything. They're reading all of the news.
That's actually a fact. that,
okay. That was just what my assumption,
Yeah.
but
It's a
it is a
fact.
fact.
It's a fact
It makes
that
sense.
Conservatives, there's at least one survey that I often cite. I don't have it pulled up, but conservatives get 60% of their news from conservative sources and around 30 or so percent from liberal sources.
Okay.
Moderates are about 60% liberal sources and 30% conservative.
Okay.
And liberals are like 95% liberal sources.
That's crazy.
So the left, this came up in the Joe Rogan, Jack Dorsey thing I did, where Jack mentioned that leftist journalists don't follow conservatives, but conservatives do follow leftists.
Yep.
And this is seen easily on Twitter. You'll see someone from the Daily Caller, from the DC Examiner. They'll be responding and tweeting at, Vox. Vox never goes the other way.
Right.
These journalists don't follow conservatives.
So the crazy echo chamber all the way on the far left gets worse and worse and worse and crazier
Yep.
and crazier and
Indeed.
crazier. Yep.
Absolutely.
Man.
And then we get this weird ideology,
Yep.
and we start swirling the drain, man.
So that's where we're at.
Look, I know a lot of people who started so listen, gold is skyrocketing.
Yep.
Property in Montana, Idaho, Iowa, Wyoming, skyrocketing.
Yep.
This is the weirdest thing to me when people are like, it's not going to happen. You're overreacting. I really don't think anything's going to happen. Trump's going to win. It's fine. And I'm like, then who are these people of means with a lot of money
Right.
who are buying all this gold right now?
Yeah.
Who are buying all this property in the middle of nowhere? Who are these people of means in New York City who are fleeing 500,000 people? And why are they doing it?
Why?
Could it be because there's been mass riots for 40 plus days? I was talking to a friend and they were like, but the riots stopped a long time ago. Yep.
Nope. They just tried to set the courthouse on fire last night in Portland. It's going on.
Yeah, and there's a video going around where the guy's waiting at the door with the hammer pulled back for the Fed to walk out. They had a state of emergency last week in Utah, in Georgia, a state of emergency in Georgia and Utah by the end of the week. And so I'm curious, I guess these people, they don't read the news.
No, these people that are buying all this property are leaving the cities. They're $1 billion industry was taken to Arizona from Seattle. We had
the $1 billion.
How many people left New York City?
Finance company.
How many people?
500,000.
500,000 people just up and left. Bye. I personally have a really good buddy of mine. The place he worked at closed for months, and he was like, I'm done. Him and his family moved to their upstate.
This country just changed dramatically, more than it's ever changed. And it's changed more in the past month, in the past 2 months, 3, than it has in the past 30 years, probably.
And all the Democrats that have done all this craziness are just making people rethink Democrats. There's a lot of people that voted Trump, but still hit Democrat.
Then how are the polls skewed the way they are? All of these journalists
Well, we talked about the polls though. It's like but look at all the people on the left. Where do they get their news? From each other.
Yeah.
Who do you think they're polling? Each other. Of course. And then not only that, hey, who are you voting for? I'm not going to tell you I'm voting for Trump because cancel culture is live and well. For most.
You want to tell a journalist you're voting for Trump?
You want to tell a journalist you're voting for Trump?
Journalist called me
way.
and said, who are you voting for? And I'm like, Biden?
Yeah, not everyone has the luckiness to work for someone like you, like me. Yeah. I'm talking about myself. I can gladly say I'm going to vote for Trump.
I think that's it right there. I think that's it. That's the one piece that's been missing from this. Why would a Trump supporter lie to a pollster? Because they're not a pollster as far as they know. They say, hi, I'm calling from The Economist. Hi, I'm calling from ABC News.
Right.
Can you tell me who you are voting for? Biden.
I don't know who you are. Yeah, you
so
can't
a
prove
journalist wants to know who you're voting for?
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, right.
Right, exactly.
Like I'm going to tell it. Because look, I think one of the contributing factors, correlation, causation between why someone would vote for Trump is if they understand the news has been lying, deceptive, manipulative, agenda-driven. And so you have people who aren't avowed Trump supporters. You'll never know they're Trump supporters, and they know the media is full of it.
Yep.
Now, then maybe they're Trump supporters because the media is full of it, and they've seen the media lie. Or maybe it's because they were Trump supporters in the first place, and Trump calls them fake news, and they don't trust the media. But then the media calls. Hi, I'm calling from the Washington Post. We're conducting a poll. I'm a journalist, trying to figure out how people are feeling. Can you answer some questions for me? Sure. How do you feel about President Joe Biden? That's great.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell a journalist so they can publish your name, dox you, spread it for their Antifa friends or whatever?
Nobody wants that.
But
of course not.
I think you got to be careful because that could just be wishful thinking. For all we know,
I think most Trump supporters are diehard Trump supporters.
Most?
Yeah.
But then does that mean there's enough to overcome the gap in the polling?
Every single person who is going to vote is going to vote. They're going to do it.
I haven't voted in 12 years.
Are you planning on voting this year?
I'm planning on voting.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely going out and voting. And I'm talking about who I want to vote for because I think it needs to be spoken about. Like, people need to talk about it and not be afraid to talk about it. I'm not afraid. Ban me, Facebook. Bring it on. I don't care. Cancel me. Go ahead. I'm okay with it because I'm still going to be saying what I'm saying.
You're in that position right now. So you're at like what 32,000 on Twitter or whatever. 30,000.
Yeah, I guess so.
You're in this position where you're growing fast enough where Twitter is obviously going to start getting worried about like, this guy's going to get a lot of followers. This hippie vegan skateboarder guy who just decided to vote for Trump.
Yep.
And I say this, I know it may sound conspiratorial, but a video went up of Adam talking about how he's decided to vote for Trump, and it was like liberal votes for Trump, and it was deleted several times.
In 2 days.
Millions of views. Why was it deleted several times? So look, you can call it a conspiracy, whatever. I'm saying the bias is real. We've seen it. And your videos are taken down.
Yep.
So once you get to a certain point where you have enough followers, it becomes very difficult for them to remove you because it would cause too much of a PR headache. But you are in that danger spot where they're like, maybe we should ban him before he gets too big.
It's too late.
It's too late.
People would talk about it.
Yeah.
He got banned.
Yeah.
Of course. boom, they'd be talking about
You know
it.
that liberal guy who said he was voting for Trump? They just nuked all of his stuff. Why? No idea.
Well, I'm announcing it right now. If they do, you know exactly why. Because freedom of speech does not exist anymore.
Well, if Trump,
We must maintain freedom of speech, period.
if Trump,
Conversation. Go ahead.
if Trump or however, we see Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and whatever get nationalized because the risk to our security in this country is too great. Maybe not nationalized, but a lot of people are saying it. But you have a combination of factors that you don't see necessarily in, say, the financial institutions. But we have completely insecure systems. So there's got to be some kind of law. They've got to lock this down. They've got to secure it.
Yep.
We cannot allow this to happen again. We're lucky they fired one across the bow. It's a warning shot. And they're saying, heads up. We need 230 reform. We need a rebalancing of political discourse in this country.
Yep.
We don't have it. This is one way to do it. It would bring the First Amendment right into Twitter. And not only that, these tech companies lack the ability to make substantive money in the first place outside of algorithmic manipulation and trying to sell ads. So maybe we're better off with a public service that is Twitter.
We need it.
And
It is. You said social media is becoming the new town square. That happened a long time ago.
Definitely.
It is absolutely the town square. That's where people talk. They don't call each other anymore. They don't don't even
Facebook,
text each
Messenger,
other
WhatsApp.
much anymore. It is all social media. What's going on? Let me go share pictures with the family. It's like I half of the people that I said, I had a tweet a couple weeks ago. I said, would you miss Facebook if it was gone? The only people that said yes, it was because they would miss talking to their grandmothers or their seeing what the family was doing. And the only thing I could say to that was call your grandmother. Call her up.
Get off Facebook.
She would much appreciate a call from you than you tagging her on a Facebook page so she can see your kids. I'm serious. Go visit her. Go visit your grandmother. I need to go visit my grandmother. I don't hit her up on Facebook. I don't go on Facebook.
Facebook has just become where older people are.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of younger people on it anymore. I don't even use it. I use Messenger.
I don't really use.
I barely use Messenger.
You know what?
Dude.
I go on there now to talk about my political views.
Yeah.
And start fires.
Start fires.
That's what it seems.
Figurative fires.
Yeah.
I use Messenger for like 5 people. I don't even know why I use it.
I
the
don't
point?
know why I have it.
Yeah.
I don't need it.
Facebook's just gone. Twitter is a political conversation. It's a big dumpster fire, and everyone's jumping around up and down.
It's
and
very
screaming
exciting,
stuff.
if nothing else.
Yeah. YouTube has become very important. YouTube is a place for people to listen to podcasts.
Yep.
I think YouTube, in terms of podcasting, is way bigger than iTunes. I've seen
I'll
some.
trust you on that. I don't know.
I've
really
seen
know
the
much.
numbers for iTunes for some of the biggest podcasts in the world, and I'm like, it's barely worth it. It's like I get it, it's worth it to a certain degree. You know what it is? It's that the journalists use it.
True.
Journalists are all sitting on iTunes. This is the worst thing. You know what? Maybe Twitter shutting down the blue checks was one of the greatest gifts to mankind.
Well, they're back.
I know. Vox and The Guardian are laying people off, and I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I'm sorry to the industry, but I'm not sorry to these people.
Yeah.
You know, we need good journalism, but right now journalism has become a bunch of woke. It's that meme of the dogs, the super ripped dog, journalist in the 1930s.
Yep.
The mafia might kill me, but I'm gonna get the story anyway. And the next one is the frumpy little dog saying, "Someone called me a mean name on Twitter."
I need a 1-month vacation.
Yeah, and full benefits.
Well, the Barry Weiss letter, it's like even the moderate, who hated Trump. She hated Trump, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
It was like anti-Trump, moderate, working for
She
the
ragged
paper.
on Tulsi Gabbard. She called her a toady, and then she got ragged for it because she didn't even know what toady was or how to spell it.
Right.
That was brutal.
Not even allowed to be moderate anymore.
They're coming for the liberals.
Yep.
Matthew Iglesias, the co-founder of Vox, is tweeting out these like "Help, I've been kidnapped"
Cryptic.
messages.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, these cryptic, creepy messages.
Look what happened to Matthew.
Dude. Matthew Iglesias co-founded Vox,
Okay.
lefty publication, and he tweets things like, "I have an opinion, but I'm not going to say anything."
Wow.
He's basically saying, "Help, I'm being repressed."
Literally.
He's sending coded messages out. What's happening? They've silenced me. I have words. I can't use them.
Well, you said it best many times, Tim. If all the people that were fed up with cancel culture, if they just got up and said, we've had enough, it would end. because there's a lot more of them than these people trying to cancel. They're just being bullies.
I don't believe in the
They're
silent majority.
No, you don't believe it?
I don't believe in it. I need evidence before I believe in something.
That's a good point.
And so it's like, what I see so far is like a dude on Twitter will go, the silent majority. And it's like one guy in a room yelling. And I'm like, bro, you're by yourself. There's nobody around you. Nobody's got your back. If you walked up to me and said, I'm going to get in a fight with you.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, well, here's my leftist collectivist buddies who won't shut up.
Yeah.
And then this other guy goes, well, the silent majority is on my side. Where are they? I don't see them here.
Okay, so I have a question about that.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's possible that you don't see anybody really interacting with people who say we're the silent majority because like the algorithms are kind of stifling them?
No.
Well, did you hear about the protest in front of Trump Tower against BLM?
Yeah.
Did you hear about them taking over the entire Brooklyn Bridge?
The anti-BLM ones?
The pro-police, defend the police march.
Took over the Brooklyn Bridge.
That was a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people. They're starting to stand up. I'm seeing a lot of defend the police protests out there, and it's good.
To be fair,
it's happening.
To be fair, in terms of, when we see the left, they're in cities, so they're hyper-concentrated.
True.
And the the counter-protesters would be in rural areas where there's no real easy way to gather.
True.
So that's true. But on social media, the inverse should be true. It should be easier to see more conservatives complaining. Now, I understand
not when the companies. Yeah, that's what I was going to allude to. It's like they're banning the people who want to speak out, that are talking the other side of things.
Then maybe in the cities there's no real resistance. Maybe it's just.
Maybe they all left already.
I don't know, man. If a silent majority screams in the woods and there's no one around to see it, do they even exist?
Yeah.
Sure, they technically do, but are they going to change anything? No, of course not. If the majority of people showed up at town hall holding up blank signs, and let's say the majority, let's say massive 2 million people in New York, the majority we're all in the streets holding up signs, and the signs were blank. What would the city do?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
What are they protesting?
No one's holding up any signs.
All they're saying is whose streets are streets.
Not even saying no, they're not saying that either.
Well, that doesn't really say anything, so I feel like that's pretty neutral.
Right. These people are just, and then one person is inside in the middle of it goes, "We're the silent majority," and you're like, okay. Then you look over to your left, and you see a group of 100 people smashing windows, and you go, "Ooh, make them stop. What do they want?" That's what's happening. That's why I'm not entirely convinced the silent majority really exists.
Well, I guess we'll see, won't we?
We will see, man. We will. But I can't remember. I think it was Matt Walsh who tweeted this. He's the Daily Wire, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think it was him. I don't want to falsely attribute this because this one might be spicy, but he said something like, "Don't waste your breath on people who won't even stand up for themselves. If you won't stand up for yourself, why should I bother defending you?"
Matt Walsh is pretty spicy. So that might have been him.
That's fairly spicy.
Yeah. Sounded like something he may have said.
My tweet, I tweeted out, I said, I just posted on Facebook, I'm voting for Trump. I'm just looking to see what happens. There's over 1 million impressions on that tweet. It was my largest tweet ever. And everybody's like, good for you. Proud of you. We're standing with you. We got your 6. Welcome. Glad you're opening your eyes.
We got your 6.
Thank you. Good for you. We're proud of you.
12.
You're not alone. That was prevalent, heavy. They're still tweeting on it. And honestly, I appreciate all of you. Thank you. It means a lot to hear that when I am putting myself on a platform where I am right now speaking, talking about these issues, making a direct, choice. And I'm standing by it, and I stand by it.
And there's a risk that, here's how cancel culture works. Pepsi puts out a new flavor, watermelon Pepsi.
Yeah.
They immediately get inundated with like 50 tweets. 50. But they see in their Twitter, like all these people saying, ew, gross, oh, this is nasty, so nasty. And they're like, oh no, we're getting inundated with messages. What do we do? Quick, get rid of the flavor. Meanwhile, you had 7,000 people like, wow, watermelon, this is great.
Yep.
Same thing could be happening to you.
That's a good point.
You go on Twitter and you're like, go Trump. And then all of the diehard Trump people are like, yeah. And so you're surrounded by this group. And then when you zoom out with that drone shot, it's like a tiny little cluster in a massive empty park.
Good point. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
So what do you do, other than just stay true to yourself?
I'm going to go vote for Trump.
Exactly. Stay true to yourself.
That's what I'm going to do.
Don't listen to anybody else. If someone says you're going to lose, don't do it. If someone says Biden's going to win, vote for him. Ignore everybody. Trust yourself. Trust your gut.
Not only
Don't be swayed.
I'm not just gonna vote for him. I'm gonna keep telling people why I'm voting for him. And everyone kept trying to well, why are you gonna vote for him? Why are you gonna vote for him? Because of you're basically a racist now. And I was like, okay, well, no, I'm not. Here's all of the things that I'm super impressed about that I had no idea what happened. Still, nobody has responded to me. Mm-hmm. One person hit me up today, giving me a bunch of counters, and I read all of the articles. All of them were allegedly this happened. Allegedly this happened. Allegedly this happened. And then he spoke about these neo-Nazis, and I'm just like, God, like I watched his speech myself. Go listen to his speech. You're
too much work.
Listen to this. You check out this documentary. Check this out. No. I don't need to read your sources, because my sources are correct. Well, let me tell you, for the few people that were out there that I'm talking about right now, there's a lot more people that are reading the things that I'm reading and going, wow, he's not so bad. He has done a lot of things, because I believe that, and I've seen it.
This is the best way to describe Trump. He's not that bad.
He's not.
He's
blunt.
He's
brash.
You know, here's the thing. If they were fair to him in the press, then I'd be like, he's bad. If they were fair.
Yeah.
But they're not fair.
Right, they're not.
And so, but the standard by which they judge him is just total BS.
It is.
He is nowhere near as bad as they say he is.
Yeah, the whole "stop making me defend Donald Trump" thing is.
Yeah, that's a great meme.
real.
Great meme.
That's
Stop
true.
making me defend the man. And now, I mean, ultimately, it just doesn't even like. You look at this guy. Look at this. This is.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
Who's voting for that guy? Are you kidding me? Are you nuts?
I'm not voting for him.
It's like you have your choice right now. We're in a plane, okay? Trump's flying it. Now we can take that guy out because you don't like the way he talks. He's on the intercom going like, "Yeah, there's a lot of dumb people back here, a lot of stupid people," and you're like, "Oh, this guy is so annoying on the intercom." And then you've got a guy sleeping.
Yep.
You really want to take the sleeping guy and talk about because this other guy's got a potty mouth?
Dude,
I'm sorry,
dude,
man.
Trump's an alpha, man. He
Yeah,
is.
love it or
and,
hate
and
it.
there's a lot of people that alone pisses them off.
Well, here's the way I
because
describe
they
it.
don't like alpha males.
Here's one of the ways I describe it. You're in a schoolyard, and you got some bully problems.
Okay.
You got, bully China, and they're pushing around Hong Kong or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you're sitting there and you're like, man, we got all these bullies all over the place, and they're causing problems for everybody. You got Kim Jong-un Kim Jong-un is like the little dude standing next to the big China dude, and they high five as they like pick on Hong Kong. And then you're like, I can choose who's going to represent me. Who do you want to stand behind? The guy who's asleep in a wheelchair, or Trump, who's making fun of people, mocking them, and pushing people around? He goes, listen, I'm a mean guy on this playground, but if you stand behind me, I won't bully you. I'll bully them. That way nobody bullies you.
Yep.
You're going to be like, oh, okay. All right.
I'll be your bully.
Right. I'll be your bully.
He said it.
Yeah.
I'll be your bully.
That's it. He's our bully.
You can call him a bully, and it's like, yeah, well, the American people, a lot of them know that.
Yep.
They looked at Hillary Clinton, they looked at Trump, and they're like, Trump's gonna push everybody around. He's gonna like, I was at an airport, and this guy said, I've told the story before, but I was at an airport, and the bartender was pro Bernie, and the guy sitting next to me was pro Trump, and they both agreed that Trump was gross. And it was funny to me because
Yeah.
I was like, you're voting for Trump, and he goes, oh yeah, I wouldn't invite the guy to my house for dinner. Hey, but the economy's great, so go where the money is. And I laughed, and I'm like, activists actually rag on people like that for saying things like that the economy is more important, the money is more important. But I'm like, I don't think they realize what he's really saying. He's saying that we're succeeding as a nation.
Right.
Why would you vote for the guy who's going to burn it all down just because he sounds nice? You wouldn't. You'd vote for the guy who's mean.
He doesn't sound nice to me. He sounds creepy.
Well, I mean, like,
He creeps
at the time,
me
Bernie
out.
Sanders.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We're going to give everybody
Bernie
healthcare.
Sanders seems nice.
Healthcare for everybody, even the people who don't live here. You live in the Philippines, free healthcare. You live in Antarctica for some reason, free healthcare.
Venezuela.
Venezuela,
Healthcare.
Hey, healthcare. Just come on through. The border's open.
Joe Biden goes, look, fat. Bernie Sanders said free health care to anybody who crosses that border.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
That's right.
All right, let's go to Super Chats.
Nailed it. All right.
The Grizzly says,
man.
Hey, Tim, I just got the BattleTech box set. It's a game that's about the future where humanity is at constant war because of the fall of their space government. It seems dangerously close to where we are now in history. It's scary stuff, man. Fox Chase Racing says from the website known as Facial Abuse. What do you mean?
I don't know.
Facebook? I don't know.
Franklin Troll says, I got canceled, fired, banned on Facebook. At first was deeply depressed, lost decade of memories and pics after the anger faded, realized how much time I actually wasted in the digital opium den. Yes. Blessing in disguise.
Yeah, man.
Learned who my real friends were.
I'm going to spin the UFO for you, buddy.
Do it.
This spin specifically for you.
Tiffany G says, if the polls are like CO State monthly polls, they change the strongly disapprove button's location to be neutral answer for Biden. Pelosi, McConnell, and Trump were all in the normal location. I have screenshots of it on my phone. Interesting.
wow.
That's weird, creepy stuff.
Interesting.
Bron says, follow Tim Cells, smash that like button.
I knew it. I knew it was coming.
Oh,
Smash
wow.
the like
That's
button.
Did you see what I was doing in the
Yeah, that's
background?
great.
Poke smashing.
Yeah.
Where's the like button?
You smash it. It's not my job. It's your job to smash.
Smash the like button. Let YouTube know that you like us. Say, YouTube, these guys are really nice.
They're okay.
Graf von Tyrrell says, no denying that 2020 is still shaping up to be a rather interesting year. No wonder how we cut it. Wait. No wonder.
No matter?
No matter how we cut it.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's time to spin the like button and smash
That's
the
right.
UFO. Wait, the other way
no.
around.
Wait, what?
The other way around.
We only get to smash UFO once.
I'll spin it.
E36 Blur says, Tim won't read this, sad face. Spin the like button.
Nope.
I always try to read the first one.
I need a spinnable like button because
just
that
turn it
that
around.
becomes a thing.
A
Yeah.
little spinny
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, little spinning like button. Can we make that happen?
That's
Well,
what we
yeah.
do.
Superman says, this is my favorite part of the day. Keep it up, guys. Every day, more and more people are listening. If you read this, Soy Jesus, spin that UFO, and don't forget to tell everybody to smash that like button.
Yes.
All right,
Everybody's on it.
let me get my camera here.
Here.
You know, we're coming to the point where it's like you'll write a transcript for the whole episode, and it's like me saying something like, it'll be me saying something like, we've got a very important conflict here with the economic policy put forth by the UN. And then Adam's transcript is smash the like button, smash the like button, smash the like button, spin the UFO. I'm spinning it.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, before I was rudely
So
interrupted, smash that like button.
Oh, there
Smash it. I want you smashing that like button right now. Look, we're at 18K likes. I want 20K
Ooh,
right
yeah.
now.
We can do
42.
it.
It is my warlord decree.
42.
No,
we have
likes, yeah.
18K likes.
Yeah.
I know.
I
So,
want 20K likes.
why not
We need
42?
42K likes.
Slowly but surely, all right? I'm a warlord, but I'm a just warlord.
Oh, yeah.
He's gracious. Very merciful.
All right, I'm spinning that UFO for you, though.
If you like this YouTube show, I will only give you 15 lashes.
Right.
Oh.
But if we get to 42,000, only 1 lash per person.
Okay.
One lash per person.
Because that's a lot of lashes.
I am
Wow.
With
a
licorice.
just warlord.
Noodles.
Morton says, it's not just blue checks that are locked out of Twitter. I'm getting the same message, and I'm assuming I'm not super special. Yeah, a lot of people were locked out. Mark says, Kanye POTUS 2024, Elon for VP. That would be absolutely hilarious.
Well, Elon can't be VP.
They don't-
Polar Bear Jago says, Tim Pool MAGA beanie, let's go. I think I have probably like 50.
Yeah, people
Not an
keep sending it
exaggeration.
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to find one and steal it.
Second place only to how many emails I get of the Yuri Bezmenov video.
Right.
Dude, have you seen that interview?
It's
oh
like,
my gosh.
I watched that video 20 years ago or something. Not
Thank
20
you,
years ago,
everybody.
like 15 years ago.
Hit 20K.
Oh, we did.
Yeah. Oh,
Hey, look at that.
nice.
You guys
Thank you
are
very
nice.
much, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's see. Supreme Grandmaster Janice says, Adam, if you're warlord, can I be your first minister?
Oh.
Sure.
You have an
There it
applicant.
is.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes,
Approved.
officially yes.
Sir Average Joe says, I work in a female-dominated field, and believe it or not, 90% of them are voting for Trump. I work at Massage Envy in California.
Wow.
What
Awesome.
If,
That's
what,
cool.
what if, you know, this may be wishful thinking, but what if all of these polls are literally just, it's a big old fake conspiracy?
Echo chamber. Telling you, man.
Not just that, but like, because they're calling people
Yeah.
who
it's
you're
true.
going to vote for. But what if it's all just like, they're so scared and desperate that they're just, you know, like you said, fire everything. What is that from?
It's from
Fire
Star Trek, the
everything.
first one. Nero.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when he.
Oh, yeah.
He gets all mad
Yeah.
because the ship is escaping, and he's like, "Fire!"
Wait.
everything."
No. You Nero is the
Nero's the bad guy.
The reboot, though.
The first movie
Kelvin
from
timeline.
J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
He did it right.
Fire everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome movie. I
And
love
so
it.
all these things are just firing out, and it's all chaos and nonsensical.
Yep.
And then in reality, the people are standing in like a phalanx, you know, a phalanx of MAGA shields.
Yeah, MAGA shields, and the Democratic missiles are just bing, 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 and they're just like, we're here together. Bring it on. Where we go one, we go all.
Student of history.
Yes, indeed.
They're gonna clip that.
Okay.
Oh man.
Student of history says, Adam, say, look at me, I'm the captain now.
Look at me, Tim. You looking at me?
No, look at the camera.
No. I'm
For a
talking to you. I'm the captain now. Okay. Now wait.
You gotta
now-
look at the camera.
Now let me get my camera.
All right, there you go.
Look at me. I'm the captain now.
Say warlord of Taz.
I'm also the warlord of Taz. Both.
Clarity's important.
Captain Warlord.
Captain Warlord. Aaron M. says, as an American in Hong Kong, I am both pleased and concerned by the latest moves by Trump's administration. Pleased because it needs to happen. Worried AF because my wife is a local, and if we flee, no idea about immigration. I believe that the U.S. should open up its doors to Hong Kong residents. I think the
so,
UK
too.
is doing it, right?
3 million people.
Wow. We should do something similar.
I think so too.
In before a bunch of leftists are like, no, Tim's pro-refugee. I've always been. Okay?
Right. Legal.
Right, exactly. Through the process. The funny thing about the left is like, I'll tweet something that they actually agree with,
Yep.
and they somehow twist it into something that they disagree with. That's what I was talking about, the Bugs Bunny. I'm like, did you see what I tweeted? Why would you assume it's against you? I literally said something like you should support because it's tribalism.
Yep. Exactly.
Beanie Man bad. So
Beanie Man bad.
Yeah. So no matter what I say,
Wait, did you disagree with me on this one subject? So that means you disagree with me on every subject. That's how their minds work, though.
it's
Tribal.
because the far left will lie
Yeah.
and pull things out of context, and then when they see me and I say something they agree with, they're like, he must mean the opposite.
Brain doesn't compute.
Yep.
Yeah. It fries them out.
Right.
Their brains explode. Let's see. Aaron M. again says, the irony of China getting pissed about U.S. moves on Hong Kong is astounding. Hong Kong's entire ability to exist as a financial hub since 1997 was because of the U.S. laws separating China from HK.
Yep.
Brett Lovell says, what if the mail voting scheme is to set up Trump? Hear me out. Trump wins 2020 with fraud votes by Russia organized and paid for by the DNC. The DNC then investigates Trump. There's 1,000,001 scenarios.
Of course they're going to. I mean, whatever. Rushgate 2.0, sure.
Also, don't forget to subscribe. Smash that subscribe button. Otherwise,
Subscribe, please do. Subscribe to us.
Cole Zone says, did Trump just expel all Chinese influence in one strike? It would seem so. Look at this one.
It does seem like it, yeah.
China owns Smithfield Foods.
Yes, it does.
Which is the biggest pork producer in the U.S. and possibly the world. Apparently, the overarching company in White House Group in China. It's worth taking a look into, located in Virginia.
Yeah,
Did Trump
it's like 140
just seize
acres.
pork?
Maybe 140 acres.
Yeah.
I think they got in that acquisition of
I
Smithfield.
think this hack was a shot across the bow saying, don't do it.
I think so too.
Don't do it.
And what do do they know who Trump is? Did you just tell me not to do something?
Yep.
Excuse me? Oh no, China. No. You made a mistake.
Yeah, but Twitter is... Oof. Wicked Kangaroo says, first time donator, long time lurker. How do you keep your enthusiasm for politics so fresh without it sucking all the positivity and energy from you? I have been politically active since 2014 when Gamergate kicked off, and I am done emotionally.
Don't let it wear you out.
Obsession?
The
Addiction?
the thought of letting them win. That's it right there. I
Passion.
Sure, passion. Think about the future. Let that think about what would happen if they won. That lights a fire for me, especially.
But listen, there are so many people who are like, well, I get it, but I'm going to keep my head down to save my kids.
But they're going to vote Trump.
That's fine.
When they go into that.
Will that be enough? I don't know.
Listen,
Adam.
This is not about just. See, this is what has been annoying me. It feels like a lot of these politicians, they make it seem like the presidency is the only thing we really need to vote for. That's the only thing that really matters. Well, that is crap. I'm sorry.
Are you voting Republican down ticket? Whole thing?
I'm going to do my research on every single thing that I am voting for.
Boom.
That's what I'm going to do. And that's what everybody needs to do. They need to know every single platform they're going to, like the Republicans, Democrats, anybody. If they're new, if they're incumbents, if they've been there for 40 years and haven't done anything, why are they still there? We got to vote them out. We have to all of us be informed on the workings of our government, period.
It's not enough to be passively not SJW. We must be actively anti-SJW. Think about what that means when they say it, anti-racist.
Yeah,
They're demanding that people don't just stand by, but join their ranks.
that's true.
The rights, the right and the moderates, conservatives, classical liberals, they don't do that.
You're
They
right.
say, hey, you do your thing, man. I get it. And so what happens? The collectivists expand, get people to join their cult, and then go around crushing dissent.
That's true.
Man, they're going door to door. You know that meme of death knocking on the doors?
Yep.
That's what they're doing to everybody.
At first they came for the fishermen, but I didn't care because I wasn't a fisherman. Then they came for, you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
I don't remember
trade
exactly
unionists,
the words.
and I didn't care because I wasn't a trade unionist.
Right.
And they came for the communists, and I didn't care because I wasn't a communist.
Mm-hmm.
And they came for me, and there was no one left. It's funny how we know that poem, yet it's not enough, and still there are people who are like, well, I know that if I say nothing, the worst thing that's going to happen to my kid is that they're going to throw him into a gulag. You know what I mean? But he'll live. He'll live.
Disgusting.
Yeah. African Warlord says, Tim, the whole point about the silent majority is that they're silent. I'm voting for Trump, but none of my friends and barely any of my family knows. I don't go on social media because it's an echo chamber and I don't want to deal with it. But that's not necessarily what I mean about the silent majority. I mean like people at work who won't stand up and say, shut up. The people who work for these video game companies where they're like, we're going to put a message when you log into the game that tells you to support this or whatever.
Yeah.
Where are the people at that company to be like, I will quit if you do that? Nowhere. But guess what? Black Lives Matter and the far left, they will. They will absolutely walk out that door, never to be seen again. And the companies get scared. There's an important point when it comes to negotiating for salaries that most people don't know, that it typically costs around 50% of someone's salary to rehire and retrain someone new for that year. So you're better off just giving them a raise within that area. Now, it's not absolute because you don't know exactly what their budget is or what they can afford or, how important you really are. But I always tell people there's actually a really big margin where you can take a position for a raise. Because if you walk up and say, I want a raise, I want a 25% increase, they might say no, and you'll be like, I will walk out that door. I will walk out the door right now. They're going to be like, okay, wait. What about 15 or 17? Like 25 is a lot, and you're going to get it. You're going to get a raise. Man, I worked for a fast.
Wait, you know what? Hold on. I want a raise.
Done.
I want a raise, or I'm walking out that door right now.
He just gave
Under
it
one condition. I gave it to you before you even threatened me.
Yes, it
What's
worked.
the condition?
How dare you?
25%. 25% raise.
Boom.
Yes.
Nailed it.
I am the warlord.
I worked for a fast food restaurant my first job, and they disrespected me, so I quit on the spot. Man, they begged me to come back. They offered me everything. And you know what? No, I'm way too arrogant. I was like,
How dare you?
Nice.
insult me, and I worked so hard for you. There is no amount of money you can pay me to make it worth it for me to come back to your company. And they were in panic. You know why? People, you don't get it, man. You don't get how important you are when they have a schedule set up and they're like, we know who's going to be here for this job, and you walk out. Guess what that means? It means the manager's got to show up to work.
That's true.
It means their day off is gone. They're going to like, no. We'll give you an extra couple dollars an hour. Just stop. This is what people need to realize about you're sitting in your office and the boss goes, yeah, they put together this message they want us to put on the window. It says something about, we support this movement and everyone here does. And you can go, no, absolutely not. I'll quit right now. I will walk out that door right now. Whoa. Don't quit. Why? Because we're not a political company. We make socks, dude. We're a sock factory. There's no reason for us to be endorsing any of this stuff.
We're a sock company. Hello.
Literally.
That's funny.
And then it's
Unwoke.hr.
Yeah.
Check it out. It's cool.
Yep.
You'll find a job. The jobs are there, and they don't want these crazy people. So listen, man, I'm willing to bet that these bosses don't know and don't care. They're like, I don't know anything about it. They just asked me to put this flyer in the window. And you can simply say, I don't think it's a good idea, man, because we should be getting political. And they'll go, yeah, it's probably a good point. That's the end of it.
Yep.
And guess what? You know what I would do? If my boss was like, I demand you sign this letter that says we're doing these things, I would be like, I quit. And I did it before, and I will do it again. Sure, I get it. I don't got kids, so I don't know what else, to encourage people to stand up. The only thing that really matters is they'll never leave you alone. All you're doing is biding your time before they finally come and end you, and there's no one to save you. Siridan says, hey guys, read Reclaiming Conversation by Sherry Turkle. It explains how social media, texting, and the like are destroying people's ability to understand themselves and others. It states that when people don't understand their emotions, they only know anger.
Doesn't she work
Perhaps.
for Facebook?
Good point.
Who is that?
Sherry Turkle.
Oh, I have
think
no
she's
idea.
the COO.
COO,
I
really?
believe.
Here we go. Fatty Ludus says, don't forget Hunter Biden still owns 10% of that Chinese company, which is linked to the CCP. Would that make any donation to Joe Biden through association, in essence, against this new executive order? Whoa. Ding, ding, ding. There it is.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh my goodness. I mean, we read that, and that's
And Trump, the authority is
directly
the
that is
authority.
exactly
Hold
what
on,
they're
the authority
talking
came from Congress.
about. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Good point. Who said that?
That was Fatty Ludus.
Wow. Nice. That's
Wow, man.
That's wow. The implications of that are incredible.
Yeah, dude.
Where is he?
Section 5 that says no donations.
No.
Your lying dog face pony shoulder.
Scared, man.
Xerxes says, late to the party, so I don't know if you've already talked about it, but did you hear of the 13 tons of human hair customs seized from China?
Yep.
Yeah, did you hear about the rifle parts and the counterfeit money?
Yep.
It's a fun game, huh?
13 tons that were probably from those camps, the concentration camps that are existing right now
That they
in
say
China, where they're harvesting organs and human hair.
Judy says, keep up the good work. We will. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Let's see what we got over in this super chat chamber here. Let's see if we can come down and get some of the... Let's see. Okay, so we did read some of these. Here we go. Andrew Daniel says, the only hacking victim in this attack was Twitter's administrative API. They may have backdoored an abandoned bot API that had developed to automatically edit questionable tweets using a stealth edits. They lost control too long. Interesting.
Yes, they did.
Man, that Hunter Biden thing, that's huge.
Yeah, I'm going to look into that more because
Yeah.
that's
Maybe
crazy.
Trump just pulled a fast one over everybody. What's he going to do, though? He's going to be like, if
if there's a
interesting.
connection,
No, he's talking about hard assets.
that's true.
Factories.
And indirect.
Any person.
Indirect.
That's extremely broad, man.
Yeah, wow.
What would you do if news broke that Trump seized the assets of like a whole bunch of really high profile politicos that are Democrats?
I mean, he would probably
Would you clap or would you be
he
scared?
would blast it out.
But I'm saying, like, what would your reaction be? Would you support it or would you oppose that?
I would probably I mean, I would do my research. I would read into it. I don't know.
No, look,
I would have to. I would probably support it because there's a reason that he would do it. That's where my initial thought would be.
What about the precedent it sets for future elections? When presidents start accusing their opponents of, funding our enemies and stuff.
Well, I would hope that our future elections don't have cronies that are trying to run for president, where we won't have to worry about that.
The challenge is, if it's true that Hunter Biden did these things,
Yeah.
then a Joe Biden presidency is substantially worse than anyone realizes.
I mean, he already scares me because of the
Let's
that he's done.
Let's talk about hard crimes.
The actual bills that he's put
Right,
forward.
but I'm talking about hard crimes.
Right, okay.
If Joe Biden is corrupt as he's been accused,
Yeah.
then we're talking about someone who's engaging in hard crimes. Now, they accuse Trump of the same thing, and therein lies the real challenge. You choose who you trust. I read the news, I believe Trump. I read the news, I believe Biden. Which news source is better? Which is worse? It's a tough call. But the issue, imagine this. Donald Trump says, we have obtained evidence that Hunter Biden did these things. Barack Obama did these things. Joe Biden did these things. They must be indicted. Bill Barr says we're indicting. The left says this is Trump staging a coup to prevent his political rival from winning. Do you say, well, because of the risk to the norms of our democracy, let the criminals go? Or do you say arrest the criminals?
Arrest the criminals.
Or do you say, I don't trust Trump, arrest Trump?
I mean, the whole Obamagate thing, it's looking like they were staging a coup against him in the first place.
Oh, totally. Dude, that stuff is so crooked.
It's like
It's crazy.
So how, it's like if you're paying attention, which a lot of people are, that they're looking at it like lock them up.
I don't know anybody who knows anything about Obamagate.
No,
none of my friends have any idea, and it's so hard to explain.
it's true.
I'm like, Joe Biden unmasking. I have no idea what that is. It's having to do with FISA abuse. I have no idea what that is. FISA court, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. What does that do? It's like, wow, dude. What if I just told you that Barack Obama and Joe Biden were literally in a room? This is released. Evidence is released of this.
Yep.
Trying to figure out how to frame one of the Trump administration officials.
Yep. And they did.
They literally
Not
did.
only were they planning it, they did. So both of these things have happened.
Yeah. Shouldn't they have already been arrested?
Absolutely.
So don't look at me. I don't know, man. if this stuff is all true, then Bill Barr should have walked out a long time. I guess the Durham investigation is still ongoing.
Okay.
We'll see how this plays out, but Obama's not going to get in trouble, man. Nothing's going to happen. You know why? It's because it's not just about what they need to do to get justice. It's about the threat to the country. If a former president is indicted, they're going to be like, no, it would destabilize the nation. We can't do that. Just throw a crony under the bus.
I'll tell you what, though. The swamp is a mucky place.
It's gross, man. Yeah, well, Trump had to bring in some of these swamp monsters with him for some reason, like John Bolton. That dude's the easiest to call out.
True.
Jeff Sessions, that guy lost.
Yes.
Trump, look, man, I gotta be honest with you. Trump had hired some really dumb people. They made some really bad decisions. I don't know who was advising him. I guess people are complaining that Kushner was advising him to do these things. Some people have pointed out that Trump, when he was first getting started, was very arrogant and knew it had to be done and was ignoring everybody. And then once he got in, he started taking advice more because of the problems that were piling up around him.
Well, and because, I was reading about, like, the whole Rex Tillerson. Rex
Tillerson.
Tillerson. Someone tried to show me, like, well, what about this whole thing? Like, he was saying he was trying to do illegal things. And it's like, I looked into it, and I heard what he was actually saying. He was like, I actually agreed with most things that Trump wanted to do. It's just that he didn't know how to do them.
Right.
Well, yeah, he just became president. He's a businessman. Well, we need to do this. Okay, well, I see where your head's at, but we can't do it that way. We got to do it this way. And Rex basically said, I got tired of being that guy to say, and it's like, that's some laziness. If he has good plans, good ideas that you agree with, and yet he doesn't know how to do it, that's what your job is. That's why you should be there.
They don't want to have to do work. It's retirement for a lot of these people.
Then all of them need to retire, and we need new blood.
That's what it used to be. You got in the administration, you sat back, and you're in the what is it? What's the room they go? The Situation Room.
Situation Room, yeah.
And then when they're like, we got this problem with this leaker guy, Julian Assange, you go, can't we just drone this guy or something? That's what Hillary Clinton reportedly said.
Wow.
Because it's a retirement to these people.
Right.
They're like, I don't want to actually solve this problem. Can't you just drone him or whatever? I don't know.
That's why we need some new blood.
Yeah. Amen.
Purge all the incumbents. Every single incumbent, you go home, you're tired, enjoy it.
Yep.
Get some new people in. That's been happening in the Republican Party.
Yep.
Tons of Republicans retiring.
Yep.
And
Good.
new young populists coming in.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah, man. Nick Doyle says, with Britain taking HK refugees, China taking that Russian town, and this anti-China order from Trump, it really feels like we're getting the band back together.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Maximum Weeb says, Uncle Tom is outstanding rereading and understanding Constitution and Declaration, calling elected officials, especially local, need to remind they work for us, not the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
Yeah.
They work for us.
Rick Cleek says, give Lydia, she's smart and cute. Oh, I think it's for the 10 pounds.
Oh, thank you.
Purdy Princess says, be smart. Save up food so when you get fired for your religion or your politics, you have a buffer against starvation for your kids. Be smart, plan ahead.
Yep.
My friends, we are entering a world where a new religion is taking over our government, our corporate institutions, our schools, our cultural institutions, and it's happening rapidly. And there's unfortunately a lot of people who refuse to say anything, and because of that, they will win. Period. So, you're maybe buying yourself some time with voting for Trump and bringing and voting for Republicans. Maybe there's some 230 reform. Maybe social media gets nationalized to some degree, and then we get First Amendment protections on social media that rebalances things.
Well, I'm not gonna stop talking politics after Trump wins.
You should. Fall. You should keep talking. Everyone should keep speaking up.
I'm gonna keep telling people they need to know what they're talking about. If they're gonna come to me with these false accusations, I'm gonna come with them with facts of what's actually going on.
About what is it? 14 years ago, I was in Chicago, and we have really bad winters in Chicago.
Okay.
And I wanted to skate in the winter, but it's always cold. And I knew some people who had rented a very small, relatively small warehouse space. Mm-hmm. They built a mini ramp inside of it, and that was really awesome. But it was them. It was theirs. It was private. These guys were all older, and it was $100 a month, and you got your own copy of the key to come and skate whenever you wanted.
That's dope.
That's amazing. So I said, wow. We should totally do this.
Is that where Brett filmed you that?
No. That was something totally different.
Oh, okay.
So I go to a bunch of my friends, and I say, how would you like to have your own private warehouse to skate in for only $100 a month? And you'd have a key, and you can go whenever you want. We'd have some rules like, clean up, don't spill beer on the ramp. And everyone's like, that's amazing. I totally want that. It'd be cool, right? Great. Well, I've got a couple $100 right now, but I need everyone to pitch in $100 up front so we can rent the space. Oh, well, I mean, get it set up and then come talk to me. No. If we're going to make it happen, everyone's got to come together to make it happen. Well, I mean, but there's no place now. And I'm like, right, but if you give me the money, I'll have the place.
Right.
I don't know. Let me know when you have the place. And that's kind of how it feels all the time, always.
Yep.
People who refuse to plant the tree whose shade they know they will not sit in to make a society grow great. Instead, they say, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to resign my children to a horrifying, twisted future run by these weird zealots. Okay.
Yep.
Well, it's past 10. And that means the cyber attack has come to an end. Obama and Biden were hacked. Maybe we're ever closer to a real conflict. I have no idea what's going to happen come November. But I don't know. We're having fun.
Yeah.
We got some sound bites to play for you.
Cheat an election.
How dare you?
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
And there are more to come because Adam's going to actually get a full board.
I'm gonna get a full board.
I only have 3.
They have to handle the cameras. I don't have to deal with that. I'm just gonna have awesome sounds. I'm gonna have a smash the like button,
Yeah.
so I can actually smash something that says smash something.
We can
it's
make
gonna
it,
be great.
We can make it so like something pops up on the screen when you press smash the like button.
Yes. Can it be me? A little
be-
little picture of me like Hulk smash.
Yeah, I guess.
Yes. Well, that has to happen now.
If you have not already, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, smash the notification bell.
Ooh, I
Tell
like
YouTube, I want notifications. And then
yeah, wow.
follow me on Twitter and Instagram and Parler at Timcast, especially Parler, considering Twitter got nuked today.
Seriously.
Yep. And you can follow me, Adam Krigler, at Twitter, Parler, Instagram, and also subscribe to TimcastIRL because this Saturday, me and Ian are going to be doing a deep dive into Donald Trump. I have been researching this man. I have been following him. I have been looking at his policies. I've been reading about why I'm going to vote for him. I'm gonna talk about it all. I'm gonna give you the workings of his life, what led him to becoming president. I'm gonna do a deep dive with Ian, and it's gonna be good. So follow me this Saturday, 8 p.m. TimcastIRL on YouTube. You can go subscribe right now. It's gonna be a good show. So tune in.
And also, you can follow at Sour Patch Lids, LYDS, Twitter
There I
and
am.
Parler.
Correct.
And we will be back tomorrow at 8 p.m., assuming YouTube doesn't get hacked this time.
Yes.
Hopefully everything will be okay. And to be fair, hopefully this is all just gonna blow over. We'll go down to the pub, grab a pint,
I can't wait.
and then December 1st rolls around. Christmas time's a coming. We have a great Thanksgiving, and nothing happens. And then New Year's comes around. Trump's president, and they all stop screaming and complaining.
Yeah.
Life returns to normal pre-2015, and then you go to the park and you enjoy a nice coffee and you stare at the clouds and smile
Yep.
on your face.
Sounds so nice.
Thanks for hanging out, everybody.
Good night,
We will
everybody.
see you tomorrow at 8 p.m.
Bye, guys.